tax and education plans. Ryan Hedrick reports the blue ticket is now proposing marijuana reform.
It's a 5-point plan that Jennifer McCormick calls common sense. She says the economic impact of legalizing marijuana is clear.
I mean, $172 million is an estimate, but that's a lot of money that could be used for a lot of needs in the state of Indiana at that local level.
The plan starts by creating a commission to oversee the state's cannabis industry. McCormick says the end goal is to fully legalize marijuana for adults. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Police are learning more about a man who died Wednesday night in downtown Indy.
A man was found stabbed at the Indiana Convention Center around 6:30. He was rushed to a hospital and later died.
Our hearts go out to the family, the victim involved. We have another senseless homicide that didn't need to occur.
IMPD Commander Scott Hessong also says that with the help of citizens and off-duty police officers, they were able to arrest their suspect who they think committed the stabbing. His name is Brian Fulton, and he's charged with murder. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Indiana gas down 14 cents from last week. You've probably noticed a lack of rain.
In fact, so far in September, we've only had about 5/100 of an inch here at Indy. Some areas of the state have had a little bit more, and some haven't even received that.
That has resulted in a moderate drought, says forecaster Randy Bowers. More on your forecast in 1 minute. WIBC News Time, 3:04.
Do you have an idea for a book? Fiction, nonfiction, or a children's book? We can help you put it together and bring it to market at Dorrance Publishing. We have thousands of testimonials from people just like you that we've helped get their books sold in stores and online. We've even got a service called The Writer's Coach. It's perfect for people that have a book idea in their head and they just need someone to help them put it on paper. Dorrance Book Publishing has been helping people just like you who have a book idea, written or not, for over 100 years. Imagine being counted among the most famous authors in the world with your very own book. Call right now and let us help you turn a book idea into reality. It's easier than you think. You just need a little help. Call us now.
800-879-4098. 800-879-4098. 800-879-4098. That's 800-879-4098.
With traffic on the fives at 3:05. Good afternoon, Dan Levy.
Good afternoon. Here's a check of the area roadways. And so far, for the most part, there are some busy spots out there to watch out for. 465 east side northbound, Fall Creek to 75th. Pretty decent delay, all because of construction and some reports of debris in that area. So watch out for that. Also, 465 on the north side eastbound. And it's going to be backed up from Keystone into Allisonville. This report is sponsored by Robert Half. 9 out of 10 hiring managers are having difficulty hiring. Robert Half's recruiting professionals utilize their award-winning AI to connect businesses with highly skilled talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent. I'm Dan Levy. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC. Traffic.
Thank you, Dan. Now the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Clouds increase later this afternoon today. It will be dry and less humid with highs near 87. Mostly cloudy skies overnight tonight with lows falling to 64. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
The Hammer and Nigel show up next. I'm Donnie Burgess on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock
it! Yo, pantyhose. My name is Jason Hammer. Big Nige is out. Jeff Boggs is back. Find him on social media at not Kenny Rogers. Jeff, my man, welcome back, brother.
Excited to be here. I could be anyone except for Kenny Rogers. Let's be very clear about that.
Right. You are a lot of things in this world, but the one thing you're not is Kenny Rogers.
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you for the build-up.
So Donald Trump says he does not want to have a second debate. Now, a lot of people think that the previous debate with Kamala Harris, the one just a couple nights ago, didn't go real well for Donald Trump. Maybe expectations were high. Maybe Kamala wasn't as bad as we all thought. Whatever you want, that's fine. But Donald Trump says he's still thinking about a second debate, but he does not want Brett Baer or Martha McCallum of Fox to be the moderators here. Now, I know you have been following this kind of stuff for a while here. I've had Brett Baer on the show We've had Martha McCallum on the show. I'm not going to sit here and act like I play euchre with them. They don't come over and gamble on the games with me, but they seem like decent enough people that could pull off a debate.
Right. Obviously, there's something personal there, between them. I would say this. The only possible way I would ever agree to another debate if I'm Trump is if Tucker Carlson were one of the moderators. And I'm not kidding. It's just like, well, we saw what happened with David Muir and her,
Lindsay Davis.
Kamala's sorority sister.
Right.
So I think at this point we have to stop acting like we're shocked that happened. Of course it's going to happen. So the next time, the only way I do it, Tucker Carlson, one of the moderators, and I'm fine with it. Otherwise, why debate?
Trump thinks he won the other night. Now, we're into this whole winner or loser thing. It's totally arbitrary. There's no judge. But you watched this thing with your own eyeballs. What did you think?
Listen, there's many times with Trump where you just wish you could have the earpiece in and have him say exactly what you want him to say. I will bring up the fact that when you watch the during the debate polling, the people with the dials, you have the red, the blue, and the yellow. The yellow is what's important, the independent voters. And the yellow voters were pretty much in agreement with the Republicans on everything. So while the style may not have worked for Trump, I think that the substance did. And it'll be interesting to see these polls that are coming out. I've seen a couple. It's like it swinged a point or two one way or another. That'll be gone by the end of next week. And let's get back to the substance.
Because if you go back and watch that debate or watch highlights, Kamala gave you nothing of substance. There was nothing there. But Donald Trump got sidetracked by talking about rally sizes, by not really going into detail about what's happening in Springfield, Ohio. He just jumps off the deep end. They're eating dogs. And if you're somebody that just barely pays attention to this, maybe you'll watch a debate once every 4 years. You're probably thinking to yourself, what? What did I just hear?
Well, also, doesn't it just come down to one of the candidates wants to use taxpayer money to pay for sex change operations for illegal immigrants who are being detained? It's still very simple to me. So I think that anyone who watched that debate who was undecided, which I really think is about 18 people in America, you look at that and you're like, okay, well, I'm still going to vote. I'm still going to vote for the conservative because I like having more money in my bank account, and I don't want my tax dollars going to sex changes for illegal immigrants.
It's interesting you bring up the undecideds because that's something our colleague Rob Kendall says all the time. He does not believe there are this many undecided voters out there right now. Now, I've always laughed at the undecided voter at this point. Like, what have you not seen? Hell, one of these guys has been the president of the United States. What have you not seen? But I think you're kind of on Rob's side where you don't think the undecideds are as much as people are making it out to be.
I don't think so. I mean, really, what are there? 7 weeks and 5 days left until the election. You know everything about Donald Trump. We've known everything about Donald Trump since 1984. The guy's in the movie Home Alone. So for Kamala Harris, if you were waiting for her to be polished, then maybe that helped you with the debate. But if you were waiting for Kamala Harris to tell you anything about what she was going to do that would be different than the last 3.5 years, then you're left with nothing, because I didn't hear anything during the 90 minutes that showed somebody who knows what they're doing and knows how to do it.
Jeff Boggs filling in for Big Nige today. Again, for those who don't know you have an extensive career in the entertainment world, writer for Letterman, the producer, writer for Tom Green Show, a number of things, award winner throughout all of your time being in New York or LA or everywhere in between. Did you ever cross paths with Taylor Swift?
I went to a Taylor Swift concert. Well, actually, Taylor's original boss, Scott Borchetta, was a judge for me on one of the music shows I did in Nashville. Scott Borchetta was awesome. He is the reason that Taylor Swift is a star, Scott and Toby Keith. Taylor went into Scott's office when she was 14 years old, sat down, played 3 songs. Scott was the number 2 at Sony, I believe, at the time. And he got up and said, "We have to sign this girl." And his boss was like, I don't know.
She was country at this point.
Well, she was country. I always thought it was funny when she said, when she broke up with Country. I think Country was like, what? Why? And it was a good move for her. But anyway, Scott went to his boss, said, we got to sign this girl. The boss said, I don't really see it. And so Scott went and started Big Machine Records with Taylor Swift. I'll never forgive Scott for signing Florida Georgia Line. That was kind of a bone of contention. But the Taylor Swift thing, who now she is obviously hashtag girl boss, but a lot of guys sure seem to help her out throughout her career.
And your feud with Bro Country is something I could talk about 3 hours about. But going back to Taylor Swift here, do we make anything of this report that comes out that in the 24 hours after her Instagram endorsement of Kamala Harris, she gets 337,000 people to visit the website vote.gov? Do we make anything out of this?
I have to see how many visited that website the day before. I just don't see any Taylor Swift fan who isn't already voting or who was waiting for Taylor to tell them to vote. I also think that you're going to have a lot of people from around the world who aren't eligible to vote, not sure if that matters anymore. And you're also going to have a bunch of 14-year-old girls who, again, I'm not sure if that matters anymore.
Right. I've always told my wife and kids, like, if I get shot by a group of Sicilian hitmen walking outside a Monument Circle and I die, please do not let my votes go to the Democratic Party. Please find some sort of way to protect the vote of the dead in this country.
That sounds like a great show, The Sicilian Hitmen of Monument Circle.
We have an update on people eating cats and dogs. So if we're going to do this, Jeff, we have to do it right. We've got the official Springfield, Ohio music.
Who let the dogs out?
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats.
So I am hungry.
So we've played the audio on this show of these concerned folks from this community in Ohio, Springfield, Ohio, going to their city council meetings and saying, I am seeing these Haitians just do the most disgusting things. They're grabbing ducks. They're just ripping the heads off. They're starting to eat them. They're picking up roadkill and scraping it off right in the middle of the road. And they're preparing a stew in the park of dead birds. Some horrible, gross, nasty stuff. But Donald Trump didn't really go into a lot of detail on the debate. He just, off the top of his head, they're eating dogs in Ohio. So a lot of people were like, what the hell is this guy talking about? J.D. Vance, his running mate from Ohio, went on with CNN with Caitlin Collins and had to do a little damage control, but I think he did pretty well.
Well, first of all, city officials have not said it's not true. They've said they don't have all the evidence.
They said they have no evidence.
We've heard from a number of constituents on the ground, Caitlin, who both firsthand and secondhand reports saying this stuff is happening. So they very clearly, meaning the people on the ground dealing with this, think that it is happening. And I think that it's important for journalists to actually get on the ground and uncover this stuff for themselves when you have a lot of people saying, my pets are being abducted, or geese at the city pond are being abducted and slaughtered right in front of us. This is crazy stuff. And again, whether those exact rumors turn out to be mostly true, somewhat true, whatever the case may be, Caitlin, this town has been ravaged by 20,000 migrants coming in. Healthcare costs are up. Housing costs are up. Communicable diseases like HIV and TB have skyrocketed in this small Ohio town. This is what Kamala Harris's border policies have done. And I think it's interesting, Caitlin, that the media didn't care about the carnage wrought by these policies until we turned it into a meme about cats.
I thought it was brilliant. I thought that was a master class to remind Caitlin Collins of CNN. Yeah, we don't care that they're ripping the ducks apart in the park. It's the health crisis that's the fallout.
Right. I mean, Germans love David Hasselhoff. Haitians love eating pet cats.
Yes.
To your point, J.D. Vance did this brilliantly. The bigger picture, the biggest issue for voters is immigration. It's, illegal immigration. This is part of that. And when you see people in Springfield, Ohio, the gentleman today who's everywhere, the homeless advocate in Springfield, Ohio, who is saying we have veterans on the streets who can't afford housing, who are kicked out of their houses. And you have immigrants, whether they're from Haiti, whether they're from El Salvador, it doesn't matter. They're living in nice places with vouchers. it's unfair to the people. So I think that hammering the pet cats is something that's effective.
I think we ran the gamut there. We talked about David Hasselhoff. We talked about eating ducks in the park. We had a bird stew. That's what you get here with the Hammer and Nigel show. And now we get to hear from Dan Levy. He's got to look at the roads.
I actually had some duck last night. It was delicious. I don't know what everybody's getting so upset about. Delicious. The area roadways right now, 465 on the east and northbound. Traffic is slow, Fall Creek to 75th. 465 on the north end eastbound. It's going to back you up from Keystone to Allisonville. And 70 on the west end going eastbound. You're seeing a delay starting from west into Meridian. This report is sponsored by B Window. Now employee-owned, B Window is celebrating this month with employee pricing for everyone. Get 60% off plus 18 months, no interest or payments. Trust your home to B. Visit bwindow.com for details. Dan Levy. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Sunshine and 88 right now at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Again, we've got Jeff Boggs pinch hitting for Big Nige today. And coming up here in just a moment, we're going to chat with Outkick writer Dan Zakshesky. Dan and I have a little back and forth every Friday on Outkick, and we'll talk about that, but I also want to get his thoughts on Caitlin Clark, get ready for it, liking Taylor Swift's Instagram post about Kamala Harris. Cats and dogs living together. We'll have that conversation next.
Contact Zero Res now for 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at $119 and take $75 off air duct cleaning. Book online at ZeroResIndy.com for huge savings.
Whether it's the good food or the friendly mood, you can count on Indiana to never lose when it comes to tailgating. And we want to see you at every game. That's why Hubler's got you covered with the best warranty around. So kick off the season in a Hubler quality pre-owned vehicle. Choose from over 2,000 Chevys, Fords, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and many more. All makes and models. Certified. Luxury. Even the hard-to-find ones. Every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty and includes a 128-point vehicle inspection, plus a free Carfax history report. Keep the tradition alive, knowing Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles.
Hubler's got you covered.
Visit drivehubler.com or any of our 12 locations.
Cover me!
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
Cindy Carrasco has spent a career holding the powerful accountable. As Indiana's Inspector General and Director of the State Ethics Commission, Cindy fought waste, fraud, and abuse wherever she found it. Cindy also combated wrongdoing in state government, which meant standing up and doing the right thing even if it wasn't popular. Now, as our state senator, Cindy Carrasco continues to fight on behalf of all Hoosiers by improving the quality of our children's education, providing tax relief for everyone, and working to make our communities safe by getting law enforcement the resources they need to fight crime, violence, and keep fentanyl away from our families. It's why Cindy has been endorsed by the Indiana Fraternal Order of Police, State Police Alliance, and the Professional Firefighters of Indiana. Because they know that Cindy has their back, and we know she has ours. Vote for more government transparency, better schools, lower taxes, and safer streets. Vote Cindy Carrasco for State Senate.
Paid for by Cindy for Senate.
This September, Diamonds Direct's ultimate offer is back, stronger than ever. Diamonds Direct helps you get the perfect jewelry gift with 0% interest. That's right, enjoy 5 years of 0% financing on any Diamonds Direct purchase. It's your chance to get her the perfect ring with 0 interest and comfortable monthly payments that fit your budget. But act fast. This offer ends September 30th. For details and more, visit diamondsdirect.com. Spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest on approved credit. Only at Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Hi, this is Zach Ingledow from Ingledow Tree Experts. When it comes to the health and beauty of your trees, trust Ingledow Tree Experts. Our certified arborists ensure your trees are trimmed, removed, and cared for with precision. Fall is the perfect time for tree maintenance. Call now for your free estimate and let us handle the hard work. Give me a call, 317-903-0102, or visit ingledowtreeexperts.com for more information. Ingledow Tree Experts, where your trees come first.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Brooks and Dunn, the best-selling duo of all time, live.
Something country.
Neon Moon Tour 2025.
Urban neon.
With David Lee Murphy.
A little dust on the bottom of that red dirt road.
April 3rd, Gainbridge Fieldhouse. On sale Friday at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster. Brooks and Dunn live.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Miss M's Home and Garden, Johnson County's fall nursery headquarters.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Beautiful Thursday here in Indianapolis. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show. I'm Jason Hammer. Big Nige is out and not Kenny Rogers is in. Jeff Boggs. Let's go to the hotline right now. Bring on one of our favorites. Great follow on social media. Phenomenal writer, Dan Zakshesky of Outkick. And Dan, the last couple days around here, it's been DEFCON 1 because Caitlin Clark liked an Instagram post where Taylor Swift endorsed Kamala Harris. Hell is breaking loose. What do you think, Dan?
Well, let me first start with this. Thank you for the incredible introduction. I don't know if I can live up to that, but I do appreciate it. And for saying my name correctly, which also incredible. Just excellent start out of you. Very professional, Hammer. Appreciate
thank
it.
you.
As far as Clark, I think Caitlin Clark is wise and mature beyond her years. And I honestly think she played this about as well as she could have. Look, do I think Caitlin Clark supports Kamala Harris? I do. Why do I think that? Well, let's just look at the facts. What group supports Democrats and Kamala Harris percentage-wise larger than any other group? The answer is white college-educated women. Caitlin Clark is a white college-educated woman. Her boyfriend, Connor McCaffrey, has been much more outspoken about how much he likes liberal policies, he donates to liberal causes. He has posted on social media about Kamala Harris. Now, I'm not saying that, someone's significant other's political thoughts are necessarily their own, but when we're building a picture, I think it's likely that Caitlin Clark is a Kamala Harris supporter. Now, for her to do what she did the way she did it, she liked a post by Taylor Swift, which gives her some plausible deniability just in the fact that it's Taylor freaking Swift, and it's a girl liking a post of hers. Second, the post did endorse Kamala, but if you look at it, again, back to the plausible deniability, the majority of the post is about registering to vote, becoming educated, blah, 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 blah. A bunch of Democratic talking points because they're always pushing register to vote because Republicans already vote. You don't have to encourage Republicans to vote. They just do it. The way Democrats win elections is by getting people who wouldn't vote to vote. So while I think Clark was making a small statement, and also, again, she's in the WNBA where you can bet 95% of the league probably supports Kamala Harris. I think it was a small bone thrown to the women in the league because, again, Clark is already not the most liked person, but she gave herself a nice out, which she explained the very next day. She knew reporters were going to ask her about it, and she immediately went into like, hey, I was liking the part where she said, do your own research and register to vote. I agree with those things. So I honestly think Clark played this perfectly.
Hey, Dan, it's Jeff Boggs. So how do you compare and contrast what Caitlin did with Steph Curry recently with his support of Kamala Harris?
Well, I mean, there's no comparison. Steph Curry showed up at the DNC and said, I support Kamala Harris. Caitlin Clark liked one tweet, and then when asked if she supports Kamala Harris, basically said, like, do your own research. So I don't think there's any comparison there. Now, part of it is, Steph Curry he's Steph Curry at this point. I think Clark understands that she's still sort of in the infancy of her career while she's got a ton of fans. Probably not a great idea to isolate a bunch of them. But to the people who say Clark could just have said nothing or done nothing, I don't necessarily agree with that. I think she was under pressure to say something. There have been plenty of think pieces and articles written about how Caitlin Clark, we can't afford her to be silent. She has to stand up for the marginalized women in the WNBA, the lesbians, the black women. She has to do this. So, again, I think she was in a lose-lose position, at least as far as if she doesn't say anything, then the other women in the WNBA are going to be mad, and certainly the media that generally covers the WNBA is going to be mad. If she certainly favoring Trump was not an option, so I think she did the thing that was the path of least resistance. And, again, I really think it comes down to Clark being wise and mature beyond her years, and I really think she nailed this. I don't know what else. I think she nailed it. Do you disagree?
No, I agree. I thought she did a good job. I thought she had to do something. I think it deflects a little, and I'm just hoping it doesn't ramp up in the next 8 weeks.
And the thing that I love the most about this, Dan, is that Christine Brennan, who was the reporter that asked Caitlin the question about, do you support Kamala Harris at the press conference? She didn't get the answer she wants. And whenever Christine Brennan is sad, an angel gets its wings.
Right. Hey, Dan, real quick. So we know Portnoy is a huge Indiana Fever fan, but what about Clay?
Well, that's interesting because, Clay's on record pretty many times talking about the WNBA not being his cup of tea, shall we say. But
sure.
I suppose if he had to root for a team, I think Indiana would be a safe bet.
And real quick, because we're running out of time here. I wish we had more time. But you and I do this little deal on Outkick every Friday now around 9:40. It's called Shot Clock Violation. It's basically kind of like a crossfire where it's you against me, and somehow we've trusted Dan Dockich to keep score, which was a damn problem last week. But it's a pretty fun deal. Tell everybody about it.
Well, I disagree that Dan got it wrong last week. I think he nailed it. I won, as I will most weeks. And,
Outkick collusion. That's what it was. Outkick collusion.
Tough. Hammer, I get it. Look, I get it, man. I get it. It's tough losing to a guy who's, probably half your age, but twice as smart. That's difficult. I get why you would be hurt about that. I understand. But look, it's a great segment. I think we're going to continue to kill it. I think you're going to be a perfect punching bag for me all season long. And, I'm going to land a bunch of body blows and then, deliver the knockout punch as I did last week.
I remember when Ryan Leaf won a game before Peyton Manning did his rookie year. And I think we all see how that played out throughout the course of the year. So I'm ready for it, man. Dan Zakrzewski, Outkick. We'll talk tomorrow about 9:40 on Outkick, man. I appreciate you.
Wait, you think you're Peyton Manning in this scenario?
Rocky Top, you'll always be home sweet home to me. Let's go.
Talk to you tomorrow, Hammer. Thanks, guys.
The Hammer and Nigel Show.
When you have a stuffy nose, life can be a bit unpleasant. Some live every day with a stuffy nose, and that can make life downright miserable. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula with Advent, where we are committed to eliminating your nasal breathing problems with simple in-office procedures like balloon sinuplasty, which requires no surgical cuts, little to no downtime, and can have you breathing better in less than 30 minutes. At Advent, we understand your inability to breathe freely limits your quality of life, and that's why we continue to pioneer the most advanced in-office procedures that have made our practice a global destination for those seeking to live their highest quality of life. Visit AdventKnows.com to see if you're a candidate for the balloon sinuplasty procedure, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Breathe well with simple solutions. Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
Results may vary.
This time next week, I'll be sick in bed with West Nile virus, thanks to a mosquito bite right in front of my house.
In 8 minutes, my daughter will be in an ambulance, having an asthma attack triggered by cockroaches.
I'm going to be bitten by a tick today. I won't even know it until Lyme disease turns my life upside down.
Learn how to protect your family at pestworld.org. A public service message from the National Pest Management Association and the CDC.
Attention all Hoosiers, a historically important election is headed our way. The time to prepare for the election is now. Are you registered to vote? Do you have a plan to vote? The Indiana Secretary of State's office wants to remind you, registering to vote or updating your registration is fast, easy, and can be done online at indianavoters.com. You must be registered 30 days before Election Day, so get registered and get out to vote. This message is sponsored by the Indiana Secretary of State's office.
You might wonder, John Legend, how do you keep your voice sounding so legendary? Honey. And how do I keep my protection against COVID-19 up to date? With a COVID shot this season, designed for recent variants.
You can get your COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot if you're due for both, as recommended by the CDC.
The fresher, the better.
Ask your healthcare provider about getting this season's COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It's all up for grabs to investigate. You've got 88 degrees. I'm Donnie Burgess. Here's what's trending at 3:33. It doesn't happen often, but it went down today. Indy Mayor Joe Hogshead sitting at the table with news media, and the conversation was all about sexual harassment complaints against city government.
Regardless of how much time has expired between inappropriate conduct and the report of that conduct, the city's Human Resources Office will conduct a confidential investigation into the behavior reported.
Mayor Hogshead also says he will not resign over accusations against his former deputy mayor. Full story coming to WIBC.com. Harris and Trump are neck and neck in the 2024 presidential race.
Georgia and North Carolina moving out of that lean R category means that there are now 6 states considered toss-ups. Combined, they're worth 78 electoral votes. It's 270 to win. So the latest Fox News power rankings show that either candidate could easily move past that threshold. Vice President Harris with 241 to Trump's 219 at the moment.
Fox's Alexandria Hoff reporting. 4 Red Cross volunteers from Northwest Indiana are heading to Louisiana to assist with Hurricane Francine disaster relief. Leftover rain from Francine is expected tonight, but don't expect much.
Further north into central Indiana, especially northern Indiana, we may have little or no rainfall with the remnants of the tropical system.
That's forecaster Randy Bowers. You've heard marijuana can help with anxiety, mental health issues, and terminal illness.
That's one of the reasons Indiana's Democratic candidate for governor Jennifer McCormick introduced a 5-point plan on Thursday to address the issue. I'm Ryan Hedrick. This plan includes creating a commission that would include
obviously experts in the area of marijuana growth and marijuana in the business end of side.
McCormick also says she wants law enforcement to come to the table. State police have said they're against legalizing pot, which McCormick says is the end goal of her plan. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
And the FDA is authorizing the first over-the-counter hearing aid software device, and it's one you may recognize. The hearing aid feature is made to be used with Apple's new AirPods Pro headphones. They were revealed alongside the iPhone 16 series earlier this week. WIBC News Time, 3:35. Traffic and weather coming up in 1 minute.
Lynn just hates painting in the fall, so she called Rhino Shield.
It is a single-wide manufactured home. We moved from our home, which we had the Rhino Shield on. Rhino Shield was what we were going to do. That was no question. We knew we were going to do it.
Rhino Shield's a ceramic coating. It's not paint, it's better.
The Rhino Shield representative came and we discussed what we wanted done. And this time, we had the roof done as well.
Formulated for our specific climate here in Indy and comes with a 25-year transferable warranty.
We truly believe in this product.
Now get the guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield for 15% off the regular price. Plus, there's more great news. Rhino Shield is partnered with Green Sky Financing to offer no payments until 2026 for qualified buyers. Here's Rhino Shield Shane Smith.
Call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint. Go Rhino.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
With a look at traffic, here's Dan Levy.
We got a new one for you. This one's on the east end of 70 going eastbound. We have a stalled vehicle. It's in the right lane at Fortville Pike. causing a pretty decent-sized delay from County Road 200 west. Then 465 on the east end going northbound. Delays continue Fall Creek to 75th, all because of ongoing work. This report is sponsored by B Window. Now employee-owned B Window is celebrating this month with employee pricing for everyone. Get 60% off plus 18 months, no interest or payments. Trust your home to B. Visit bwindow.com for details. I'm Dan Levy. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast brought to you by the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
As we make our way into Thursday evening, clouds will start to overtake the skies. There will not really be a chance of rain overnight, but as you move towards Friday around noon, chance for showers could sneak in. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Junior Arsutis for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Donnie Burgess on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Old boss Hogsett decided to have a little press conference. And we got you covered. You know how we get down. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show. I'm Jason Hammer. Jeffrey Boggs is filling in for Big Nige. And joining us in studio right now is our news director here at 93 WIBC, John Herrick. So what did Mr. Hogsett, one boss Hogsett, have to say?
Well, you remember the proposal that they introduced earlier this week at the City County Council meeting, and he said earlier today that basically he was coming forward to sign this proposal 287. So he did that in front of a whole bunch of reporters. Our Ryan Hedrick was there. He signed the proposal in front of everybody, and basically it just says that a national law firm without local ties is being hired to review and make recommendations on the city-county employee handbook. And I think Hogsett, as you know, has come under great scrutiny, first by the folks at Mirror Indy and then by the rest of the media for how his former staffer, Thomas Cook, sexually harassed people that were on his staff. And then Mirror Indy did the whole expose. Our partners at Mirror Indy did that, and everybody else has been reporting on it since then. So they wanted to get this new policy out through a proposal, which he signed today, that basically says this is how we're going to do things going forward. A big thing is, if you take a while to report something to the city, we will always take it seriously. There's no statute of limitations. So he just wanted to sign it in front of everybody.
Did he do a Q&A session?
He did.
Okay. Now, I know you weren't there. We had a reporter there. You were kind of supervising this back at your desk.
Yes.
Take me through some of the questions. Did we get any concrete answer on, did he know what was going on? Why did he bring back Thomas Carl Cook?
Yeah, I think the big thing is what he kept doing is he kept mentioning HR. So he gave us a timeline of everything that happened. And basically, the pattern goes back to almost 2014. And all throughout 2017 and 2018, he basically said every time that an accusation was made against Cook, he reprimanded him, he prohibited him from doing things, and he forwarded it to the city, the city's HR department. He let the city's HR department handle the investigation, and he would let independent counsel investigate. So that's what he kept focusing on in this Q&A. Another question that he was asked by our friend Abdul Hakim Shabazz of Indy Politics was, does Thomas Carl Cook have something on you? And is that why you've kept him on staff? And he basically said, no, that's inaccurate. There's nothing that Thomas Cook has to share.
That everybody else doesn't already know.
Right.
Sorry, that's my word. Sorry.
He wanted to make that very clear to Abdul. And then he also was asked, is he going to step down? And he reaffirmed his stance that no, he will not step down. He will continue to lead the city through this entire process. He was asked a bunch of other questions before.
Sure.
But those are the big ones that he was asked that he responded to.
This whole timeline still doesn't make sense to me, because in the Mirror Indy report, which you referenced earlier, two of these three women, two of them put their names out there. There were secret recordings. Like, they had recordings where they went up to Joe Hogsett.
Right.
So clearly Joe Hogsett had to have known there were at least some women that had bad interactions or bad experiences in his office, specifically with Thomas Cook. But yet Thomas Cook was brought back to work on his reelection campaign.
Yeah. And he basically says every time, like right here, October of 2020, independent counsel hired by the city to investigate claims of a romantic relationship. Then in December of that year, based on independent counsel's investigation, the mayor requests that Mr. Cook resign from the city of Indianapolis for violating the 2017 reprimand. So basically what he's trying to say is that he deferred to the investigations every time. He's trying to say, I reported this when I heard the accusations made, and this is what the investigation came up with. And I think he just felt like he had enough reason to bring him back, or that he had been punished enough. Again, that's his story. That's what he's sticking with. And he also said, I'm not going anywhere. This is the new harassment policy we have in place.
John Herrick is our news director here at 93 WIBC. So this special fact-finding commission that he's going to outsource. This is something different than what the City County Council is putting together?
Yeah, I mean, basically, they started these internal conversations back in July, and then they had their first meeting about it in August. And then he went through, I think you might remember, he went through that harassment training, which he also said he completed in 2020 and 2022. And he said that they needed to sign an executive order extending mandatory sexual harassment training for all city employees, not just supervisors, counselors, and administration officers. So he also wanted to do this whole anonymous system, too. So if anybody wanted to submit a claim anonymously, that's what they wanted to do. So
Did he talk about whether or not he was intoxicated in that viral video from this past weekend?
He did talk about that, yes. And he said that basically what he said was a joke. He's not running from anything. It was a figure of speech. And he also maintained that the crowd that was at the scene knew that he was kidding or knew that he was having fun. That was his reasoning for that.
Where can we get more information?
We're going to have the entire presser from today. It's about 30 minutes in length. It started at 2:30, went till about 3 o'clock. We have the whole presser in length, and we'll have a full recap at WIBC.com.
Totally different subject, John, but when do you leave to go to UCLA?
Well, we leave tomorrow in the afternoon. I'm not going to divulge any private details about when we leave, but we do leave tomorrow. We'll get there Friday night.
It's not like you're busing to Purdue here.
No,
this is a cross-country flight for the IU radio network.
Yeah, the flight's going to be several hours, so I got to find a movie to watch and a book to read. But and then the game is on Saturday, and then we come back, and I'll be back early Sunday morning. So it'll be a full weekend trip. It'll be exciting.
Take a few energy drinks, John. You're going to need it.
I sure will.
Hey, thank you so much for coming in short notice. We appreciate you.
Not a problem. Thanks, guys.
And Jeff, the thing about these committees that Joe Hogsett puts out there, he tries to tell you these are independent. He knows exactly who he's reaching out to. And a perfect example is what happened in 2020 when the riots took place. Joe Hogsett sends out some of his liberal buddies, hey, why don't you do a report? They came back and their decision was, well, the police were the instigators because they wore riot gear to a riot. That's what we got from the independent review that Joe Hogsett sent out for the riots. So get ready for more of that crap.
Did I understand, John, correctly, that Thomas was able to take harassment training twice? How is that possible? Isn't that kind of a pass-fail?
And after a number of people complaining, different people, mind you, not one habitual problem, multiple different people, he thought, well, nothing's ever been proven. Let's give this guy a farewell. Let's let him leave on his own terms, and then let's bring him back. What could possibly go wrong?
It just seems like another episode of Nerds with Power. You know?
You are spot on. We said this the other day. You look at Thomas Carl Cook, you look at Joe Hogsett, all these people that surround them in their inner circle, they've all been shoved in lockers and had their lunch money taken from them most of their lives. But they get this little bit of power, and all of a sudden it's Revenge of the Nerds. 100%. Allison, I want to get your perspective on something here. As the female representative of the Hammer and Nigel show, how would you feel? Let's say your job was the media relations girl, or even the secretary inside the mayor's office. Doesn't even have to be a political job. You work over there. You know some of your colleagues have filed multiple sexual harassment claims to the supervisor, and you see nothing happening. How would that make you feel?
Well, of course, upset. I mean, it's ridiculous, especially in this day and age, that there's no more repercussions and it's taken this long.
Like, what happened to the Me Too stuff? Like, that wasn't that long ago. Hell, Jeff, you were probably out there in the midst of L.A. and New York when it was going wild. I mean, people were having their careers ruined because of this stuff. That wasn't that long ago, and it looks like everybody here is going to skate.
Yeah, well, I think it goes away once a Democrat, gets accused of any type of sexual harassment, sexual assault. The Me Too kind of goes out the window, which leads me to believe that if you're only interested in stopping sexual assault when a Republican does it, it's not really the sexual assault that's bothering you.
And as for this city county council investigative team that's looking into what's going on here, keep an eye on how many people have taken campaign donations from Thomas Carl Cook in the past. It's staggering. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Close your eyes and picture it. The warm sun on your face. The sound of waves lapping against the shore. What if I told you that feeling of summer relaxation could be yours all year round? At Howard Bailey Financial, we specialize in retirement planning that lets you embrace that summer state of mind every day. Imagine knowing that your future is secure. With our expert advisors, we'll craft a personalized retirement plan tailored to your dreams. Whether it's traveling the world or pursuing your passions, we'll ensure that your retirement is as carefree and fulfilling as a relaxing summer afternoon. Embrace a summer state of mind and text SUMMER to 888-494-5004 to download our complimentary retirement toolkit and experience your retirement planning with confidence.
This endorsement was not provided by a client of Howard Bailey. This individual was compensated for this endorsement. For more information, visit howardbailey.com/TSY.
High five! Up top! Heck yeah!
Dave's company just got the first ever 5-year price lock guarantee from Comcast Business.
Yeah, 5 years!
It's 5 years of gig speed internet.
High five for gig speed.
5 years of advanced security.
Security win.
And 5 years of a great rate that won't change.
Our rate ain't changing.
All from the company with 99.9% network reliability.
There it is.
He hasn't given this many high fives since Deborah brought in her famous banana bread.
Woohoo!
Now he's got savings.
I'm so excited.
Yep, Dave's feeling it. But it's only for a limited time, so don't wait. Switch today and ask how to get the first ever 5-year price lock guarantee from Comcast Business. Powering 5 years of savings. Powering possibilities. Comcast Business.
And it's hurting, but I am not stopping.
Ends 9/22/24. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge for new customers on qualifying internet bundle, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
After college, Mike Braun could have gone anywhere. He chose to move back to his hometown of Jasper, Indiana. There, he started a small business, kept his head down, worked hard, and turned his small business into a national company, employing thousands of Hoosiers. He'll use that same determination for us. Lead the charge on lowering the price of gas, groceries, energy. Take on the big healthcare companies to increase healthcare access and lower costs. And Mike will improve education across our state by increasing school choice. Mike will make our streets safer, back the blue, and stop illegal immigration if the federal government won't. Because Braun believes every Hoosier should be safe and secure in their community. As governor, Braun will continue working for Hoosiers. Because when you're Mike, working hard is just what you do. Mike Braun, governor. Paid for by Mike Braun for Indiana.
More than X's and O's, playing high school football has taught me respect for my coaches and teammates, our opponents, and the officials.
On the softball field, I learned how to be accountable for my actions and how they affect the rest of my team.
Every game reminds us that humility means winning with class and losing with grace. I'm Dante Pope from Maryville High School.
And I'm Ashton Elpers from North Posey High School. These are just some of the lessons we learned from high school sports that we'll carry with us for the rest of our lives.
Wins and losses, highs and lows, success and failure, they are all part of being a student athlete and a human being.
Learning how to handle these ups and downs on the field prepares us to handle them off the field, too.
I am IHSAA Commissioner Paul Neidig. Be a champion of high school sports and the lessons they teach by buying a ticket to your high school's athletic events. This is developing character. This is education-based athletics. This is your IHSAA.
It's JMV. Save 30% off herbaceous perennials, 50% off pottery, and 20% off patio furniture this week at Miss M's Home and Garden on State Road 135 in Bargersville.
Do you need air conditioning service and need to find a local well-trained expert you can trust like Reinhardt Heating and Cooling? Find that American Standard air dealer at IndyHomeComfort.com.
To celebrate, be employee-owned, Bees offer an employee pricing 60% off plus 18 months, no interest, no payment.
Proud to be employee-owned. Trust me.
You want to listen all day to WIBC, but you don't always have time. Don't worry. There's a podcast for that. The WIBC Mashup. Daily highlights from your favorite hosts. Tony Katz, Kendall and Casey, and Hammer and Nigel. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
Base! Dan Levy has got to look at the roads.
Hammer. Right now in the area, roadway, still a nasty thing going on the east end of 70 going eastbound. As you approach the Fortville Pike, we have a stalled vehicle. It's in the right lane, and that's the reason for that massive backup. Also, delays continue 65 on the north end southbound from west into Meridian. West end of 70 eastbound, bumper to bumper from Belmont to Meridian. This report is sponsored by B-Window. Now employee-owned B-Window is celebrating this month with employee pricing for everyone. Get 60% off plus 18 months, no interest or payments. Trust your home to B. Visit bwindow.com for details. I'm Dan Levy. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
87 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Hammer and Nigel Show is coming to your city up in Westfield. Grand Park Event Center, the Suburban Indie Home and Outdoor Living Show, Friday, September 20th. It's a beer sample Friday, so take off work, do what you have to do, and join us at Grand Park. They're going to have all types of different activities. There's like a game show battle. People can win prizes. Get your tickets online for just $7. They're $10 at the door. But September 20th, Beer Sample Friday up at Grand Park with the Hammer and Nigel Show. Coming up here in just a little bit, we're going to give away some Brooks and Dunn concert tickets. So, Allison, my question to you. How much Brooks and Dunn do you know?
Man, I think I know a smidge, but not enough to name their entire discography.
All right, so Jeff Boggs, who's filling in for Big Nige today, I've put together a 7-song Brooks and Dunn montage. Big hits by Brooks and Dunn, no obscure stuff.
Okay.
How many do you think Allison can name out of this 7-song montage? I've got the over-under set at 5.5.
Well, I'll tell you, off air, I talked to Allison a little bit. I'm now lowering my expectations.
Okay.
I feel like I'm going to go under 5.5.
Okay. Under 5.5. If you are correct, you get your choice. You can either take this shot of Old Smoky Blue Flame Moonshine, or you can pass it to somebody else in the room. If he does not get it correct, Allison, you get the choice, okay?
Okay.
So, 7-song Brooks and Dunn montage. How many does Allison know? Let's go.
Her heart's pounding by the way she's drinking.
There's one.
His memories drowning.
This was a big one.
She's not the cheating kind.
Yes, of course.
My Maria. 2 for 2.
Yes.
Signature song, I believe. 3 for 3.
I'm a hard-working man. I wear a steel hard hat. I can ride.
It's not ringing a bell.
Okay.
I'm just being honest.
Hardworking man. Okay.
Yes, of course.
4. Big 4th of July song.
Oh, yeah.
Acts like Madonna, but she listens to Merle. Rock my world, little country girl.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I spend most every night.
We're at 5.
Yes, and yes, of course. Yep.
Of a neon moon. The over is the winner.
You should have believed in me, not Kenny Rogers.
No, I know. My fault. My fault. And you end with Neon Moon. Come on.
That's the encore, baby.
Too easy.
All right. Allison, your choice. Do you want to take the shot? Do you want to pass it to a friend?
I'm going to pass it.
Who are you going to pass it to?
You know, Hammer.
I'm volunteering. All right.
I think you deserve it.
I'm going to go on our Facebook Live and do this. Now, Facebook.com/Hammer and Nigel. You're going to have to physically go there because Zuckerberg sucks, but I'm going to do a Facebook Live. Join us during this commercial break.
Do you own an annuity? Right now, you could upgrade your annuity and get 40% more income, tax-deferred growth, and pay fewer fees and expenses. It's true. This upgrade could add up to tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in additional lifetime income. Learn more by calling Bill Demery, your retirement guy in Indy.
If you currently own an annuity, discover how you could get 40% more income, tax-deferred growth, and pay fewer fees and expenses. Bill Demery's the guy that can break it all down for you. This upgrade could add up to tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in additional lifetime income. And it won't cost you a dime. Talk to Bill Demery today. 317-648-5120. That's 317-648-5120. Bill Demery, your retirement guy.
Are you concerned about rising property taxes? My name is Donald Rainwater, Libertarian candidate for governor. My plan would limit your property taxes to 1% of the purchase price of your property. It would never increase, and it would end once you've paid for 7 years. To learn more about my plan to make Indiana government less taxing, go to rainwaterforindiana.com and watch the televised gubernatorial debates this October. My name is Donald Rainwater, and I approve this message, paid for by Rainwater for Indiana.
Hey, this is Spencer Thompson at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. Now through Monday, it's our Made in the USA Labor Day sale. Lazy Boy recliners start at $3.99. Queen mattresses start at $3.99. And sofas start at $4.99. Interest-free financing available, free delivery, and cash discounts on select items. Plus, low price guarantee on Tempur-Pedic and Stearns & Foster mattresses. Sale ends Monday only at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
ZZ Top. Leonard Skinnerd. Two American institutions unite. The sharp-dressed Simple Man Tour. This Saturday, Ruoff Music Center. Special guest, The Outlaws. On sale now at livenation.com. ZZ Top and Leonard Skinnerd live. Part of the Coors Light Concert Series.
Did you know that Pepto-Bismol provides fast 5-symptom relief for nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, and diarrhea? Of course you do, because everyone knows the Pepto song. But did you know that Pepto also comes in convenient and delightful solid forms?
Pepto has very fast melts, cherry chewables, liquid caps that make relief easy.
Pepto makes relief on the go easy. So when you overdo it, undo it with Pepto. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Will you be there?
This is just such a prestigious place and such hallowed ground.
Reigning Brickyard 400 champ and 2024 Indy 500 Rookie of the Year, Kyle Larson will try to make history, racing and winning the Indy 500 presented by Gamebridge and the NASCAR Coca-Cola 600 in the same day.
I love you, Indiana fans. How about we come back next May and try and kiss these bricks on the IndyCar?
Don't miss your chance to see Kyle Larson take on two-time defending champion Joseph Newgarden and all the stars of IndyCar at the 109th running of the Indianapolis 500.
See you guys all next May.
For ticket info, visit ims.com.
Your local news, traffic, and weather coming up from the Technology Recycler Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 4 o'clock, Fox News in progress.
The president is shrinking. Lisa Brady, Fox News. A Georgia judge just dismissing 2 criminal counts in the state's election interference case against former President Trump and 1 other count against allies. That case has been stalled in a court fight over the lead prosecutor, Fani Willis. Trump just announcing there will be no third debate after doing 1 each with President Biden and then Vice President Harris, suggesting again that he won this week's debate after the Harris campaign quickly called for another. And she just did that again.
2 nights ago, Donald Trump and I had our first debate. And I believe we owe it to the voters to have another debate.
This at the first of 2 rallies today in North Carolina. That's one of 2 states, along with Georgia, where Trump has lost his edge in the new Fox News power rankings, giving Harris an overall lead for the first time. Republican National Committee Chair Michael Whatley just telling Fox News.
What we're seeing in every single one of these battleground states is that on this same day, in 2024, Donald Trump is doing better than he was on the same day in 2020 or 2016. So we feel very comfortable about the trajectory of this race.
Trump rallies later in Arizona. On Capitol Hill, closed-door briefings for lawmakers from the acting Secret Service director about the Trump assassination attempt. Connecticut Democratic Senator Richard Blumenthal says a report is coming soon.
That I think will absolutely shock the American people, or it should, about the lapses and lags in the protection that was afforded that day and the breakdown in communication, failure in responsibility.
The FBI is still investigating the shooter. The Dow up 235 points at the bell. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Sexual harassment in city government was the hot topic. Good afternoon. It's mostly sunny and 88. I'm Donnie Burgess. Here's what's trending at 4:02. Transparency has been a consistent critique of Indy Mayor Joe Hogsett. Well, there he was face-to-face with news media this afternoon, and it was all about sexual harassment in city government. Hogsett says there is one story floating around that's dead wrong.
That I, at any point in time, have worried that Thomas Cook would had information about me that he would share with other people.
Hogsett signed the proposal creating an investigative committee into harassment complaints. She says it could bring in over $170 million a year. Indiana's Democratic candidate for governor believes legalizing marijuana is the way to go.
Jennifer McCormick says this isn't a Democrat or Republican thing. It's about dollars and cents.
Bipartisanly, it's been introduced. We just have to have the willingness to move it forward. Ohio is very red, and they have already gone. You know, it's very interesting to look at that. And Kentucky, you know, a very red state, and that they obviously are moving forward.
McCormick says she has a 5-point plan that outlines regulation, education, and monetization of marijuana in Indiana. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
A man was fatally stabbed at the Indiana Convention Center Wednesday night. John Herrick explains why police were encouraged by the response to the crime.
After the man was stabbed, IMPD Commander Scott Hessong says off-duty police officers and other concerned citizens nearby helped police find the suspect they were looking for, Brian Fulton. Fulton is charged with murder. Hessong says this should not discourage you from coming downtown.
Downtown is safe. I argue that we have wonderful technology in the downtown area that helps us solve crimes when crimes do occur.
No events were going on Wednesday night at the convention center when this happened. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Getting a little break at the gas pump. Indiana gas down 14 cents from last week, says AAA. WIBC News Time 4:04. Traffic and weather next.
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated, forlorn even, like your efforts are futile, and you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine. Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all of that. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, you can forget your frustrations because we find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day.
Fantastic.
So, whether you need to hire 4, 40, or 400 people, get ready to meet first-rate talent. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. Don't forget, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Finally, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
With traffic on the 5s at 4:05, here's Dan Levy.
Donnie, got a nasty situation going on right now on the south end of 465 going westbound. Just after 65, a report of a vehicle fire. The left lane is blocked. Crews are on the scene. East end 70 eastbound as you approach Fordville Pike. Still a stall in the right lane. That's causing traffic to be backed up as you approach that area. This report is sponsored by Audible. Make traffic work for you with Audible. Explore new worlds or get inspired listening to audiobooks, podcasts, and originals. There's more to imagine when you listen. Sign up for a free trial at audible.com. I'm Dan Levy. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the Hammer and Nigel show up next. I'm Donnie Burgess on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it!
Nobody has more fun in the afternoon than we do. We are the Hammer and Nigel show. My name is Jason Hammer. Big Nige is out. Jeffrey Boggs is filling in. Find him on social media at Not Kenny Rogers. And joining us now on the hotline, Tara Hastings, meteorologist for Wish TV. The lovely, the talented Miss Tara. How are you, dear?
Oh, that's great. I literally just pulled in the driveway and stepped in the door. So utter chaos right now, but that's all right. We're good.
Every time we speak to you, hell is breaking loose at your house. You've got like kids crying, dogs barking. They're like in Weird Science. There's a missile coming up through the middle of the living room. You're just pulling in. Like you've got mom stuff to deal with all the time.
I do. And I cannot believe Nigel is not there. I totally wanted to razz him for not wearing a shirt the other night.
So
it's absolutely absurd. I look at Marcus and I'm like, please tell me that this is like he's not wearing a shirt. And he goes, maybe it's one of those shirts that like looks like you're not wearing a shirt. And I'm like, no, I don't know. I'm pretty sure that's not a shirt.
Tara Hastings sends me a text message the other day, Jeff, and it's like, is Nigel not wearing a shirt with the blazer? And I just had to simply respond to her, it's exactly what you think it is. Because at the debate party, one thing led to another. Next thing you know, Nigel is exchanging shirts with some fan in the stands. And poor Rob Kendall and I were sitting behind Nigel when he does this. And all we see is his back fat, back hair, and sweat right in front of our face.
Do we have video of this?
It's somewhere for sure. Absolutely.
Like David Hasselhoff or something. I'm like, what is happening?
Man, the second David Hasselhoff reference in our show today. Jeff broke one out earlier today. All right, Tara, let's get down to brass tacks here. Are we going to get any remnants of Hurricane Florence that made its way up through Louisiana? Are we going to see anything from that?
Yeah, I do think we're going to see the chance of some rain. And, you know, earlier this week, it looked more promising. Like, hey, we were going to get some much-needed rain out of this. Unfortunately, I think southwestern Indiana may be the big winners out of this. Maybe Indianapolis might see a little bit of rain here heading into the first part of the day on Friday, but in general, I think central and north-central Indiana are really going to miss out on the potential for some much-needed rain across the state here. So, but yes, I do think we're going to see some rain. I just don't think it's going to be a drought buster.
Tara, can I ask you a quick question? And because of my gambling habit, do you know Miami tonight? Do you know if Miami is going to be experiencing any precipitation or wind?
There's a big Dolphins game tonight, Buffalo at Miami. Gambling ramifications are on the line here, Tara.
Oh, is it is it an outdoor stadium? They don't have. It's not a.
It is.
It's outdoors. And the follow up would be: do you know about Devon Achan's high ankle sprain?
I do not. I am terrible at betting. Everybody, with all the betting apps and everything going on, it's like. I still don't understand this, like, over, under. I need, like, a course from Jason Hammer on, like, what I need to do.
Oh, you can download the podcast, Tara. The Degenerates Next Door, myself and Rob Kendall, will get you everything you need to know. Last week, Tara, your boy was on a heater here. I'm not one to brag. Narrator, I'm totally one to brag. But, I was rolling last week.
Oh, that's awesome. Score. I love it. I have not looked at the current radar right now. Oh, no. What happened?
Oh, my.
This is my favorite part of every interview with Tara Hastings.
There's bubble lawnmowers going around around and around in circles, and then one kid just comes crying to me. I don't know. Are we okay? We're okay. I have not looked at the current radar right now, but earlier. Can you guys hear all this?
No, we're hearing everything.
showers and thunderstorms across parts of Florida. So I will get back to you, and I can tweet at you.
That would be great. And I have a suggestion. I'm just thinking about this now. What about during the weather, you do an over-under on tomorrow's temperature?
Oh, there you go. That way, Wish TV could make some money, presented by Caesar Sportsbook, Bet River Sportsbook, whoever it is. And you could keep track, have all of you Wish TV meteorologists, Ashley Brown, Marcus Bailey, Drew Narsutis, who says his name way too fast on the weather updates here on WIBC. All of you guys could, put it out there, and then there's a winner each week.
I love that. That's a really good idea. We need to get on that. I'm going to talk to my people.
As Dave Letterman once said, and Jeff, you know this as a former writer for Letterman, there's no off switch on this genius panel.
There you go. There you go. The genius switch goes all the way up. So,
all right, Tara, I know you got some mom stuff to do, but last thing here before we let you go.
Yeah, hit me.
What are we looking at for Indianapolis here the next couple of days? We've ran the gamut this past week. We had lows in the 40s at one point. Now we got heat index around 90. It's Indiana. What are we looking at here?
Okay, so I have really enjoyed over the weekend, the fall-like weather, open up the windows, let some of that fresh air in. Even though it's been warmer this week, last couple of days, we've seen those temps in the upper 80s. The humidity has remained low. Here's the deal. Francine moving up. Hold on one second. Francine bringing in the chance for rain, but also the humidity is going to make it feel a little bit more uncomfortable tomorrow. So even though the temperature tomorrow may be right around 80 degrees, it's going to feel more humid on Friday, also into the weekend. Maybe a few spotty showers on Saturday with some morning showers. Okay, yes, take that one. Okay, we've got lawnmowers in the house.
I love it. You know what, Tara? This makes you so relatable to people. It really does, because everybody has had that moment where you got your youngsters, you got your kids, maybe it's the grandkids, whatever it is, and hell's breaking loose. Everybody understands what you're going through. I love it.
It was so funny because this morning my husband showed my son using the lawnmower inside on the carpet, and he's like, after that he asked for a beer after his long mow. So it's absolutely absurd. So a little bit more humid heading into the weekend. Temperatures remain in the mid 80s, and I don't have any rain in the forecast outside of early Saturday. We just had this. I just wrote a story on it. Our weather blog here. If you go to wishtv.com, click on weather blog. The latest drought monitor came out. And most of southern and eastern sections of Indiana under a moderate drought. We're running about an inch below normal in Indianapolis for the month of September. So incredibly dry conditions. My lawn is really brown and crusty, and it doesn't look like we're going to see much in the way of rainfall here from Mother Nature outside of tomorrow for the first part of the day, and then maybe early Saturday morning, and that's about it.
Tara, on our YouTube chat, Two-Tone Malone says, I love when Tara is on the program. We love when you're on the program. Our goal here at the Hammer and Nigel show is to make you feel a little less uncomfortable than when Tony Katz talks to you in the morning.
Oh my gosh, you never know what he's going to throw out there.
I love the awkward 3 or 4 seconds of dead air when he says something completely out of left field and you're trying to be professional. You probably want to tell him to kick rocks, but you know that it's probably best for the show to say, yeah, you never know, something like that.
I mean, sometimes he really comes off with some stuff, and I'm like, okay, but I try and feed right into it because it's funny.
Tara Hastings, you are the best meteorologist for Wish TV. Tara, thank you.
You betcha. Thanks, guys.
Jeff Boggs is here. He is the fill-in for Nigel today. You're fake Nigel. Can I call you that? Is that okay?
How about not Nigel?
Not Nigel, because you're not Kenny Rogers.
Right. I think it works.
And you're not Nigel. I don't know how much you drink, Jeff. I don't know if you like to imbibe in the cocktails, but if you're looking for a reason to drink tonight, maybe a reason to crack one back, it's a celebration. Today is National Day of Encouragement. This is the day where you're supposed to encourage the people around you. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go around the horn here in just a moment, and every person in this room is going to say something nice about the other two. Okay? Sometimes we get accused of being too negative, too mean. Oh, you made fun of Joe Hogsett too much. Oh, you made fun of him being a raging alcoholic too much, allegedly. So we're going to just take the high road here. Allison, can I get some encouraging music, please? Jeff, I'm going to start with you. You're the guest. You're the fill-in host. Say something nice about Allison and myself. Something encouraging.
Well, Allison, I think you did a wonderful job with the Brooks and Dunn songs.
Oh, thank you.
To be honest, I don't think that you did get Little Country Girl, Rock My World, Little Country Girl. I don't think you got it. But I think that you sold the whole bit, and, you're wonderful. So really, really great work. And it's been great to get to know you these last couple of appearances.
That's so nice. And I think I did know that song.
Yeah. And I guess, Hammer, I will just say, I'm not going to bring up the fact that you still have an iPhone from what looks like 2009.
It's an iPhone mini, okay? And
it's an iPod Shuffle.
He has it on shuffle.
It's a little old, okay? But you know what? It gets the job done. All right. But thank you, Jeff.
And
I appreciate it.
I also appreciate the fact that you filled the refrigerator this time because it saves me a lot of trips downstairs to get Diet Cokes and Diet drinks. So thank you. Thank you so much, Hammer.
You're welcome. And thank you for drinking all of our Diet Mountain Dews the last time you were here. Like, it really takes a confident individual to pull that off. And Allison, thank you for not taking Nigel or myself to HR. After all of the time that we have worked together and the inappropriate things that we've said, sometimes, we get caught looking at certain aspects of your body.
I have a log.
Please understand our encouragement and our appreciation for not taking us to HR.
Oh, well, that's so kind. Hammer, it's just inspiring that you can chase 2 beers with a Mountain Dew and still be okay with your life choices.
Oh, thank you.
You're so welcome.
God bless you.
Gosh, you're so inspiring. And then, of course, Jeff, I love how your career started with the Ball State legend, David Letterman, and it's brought you to Hammer, Ball State's biggest embarrassment.
Thank you.
It's truly humbling.
What
You
happened?
guys are
What happened?
both just so inspiring.
National Day of Encouragement. We're just crapping rainbows over here. Dan Levy, how about you?
Well, nothing too encouraging on the road. A lot of traffic going on right now. 465 on the east end going northbound. Traffic is slow from Pendleton Pike. Into 75th, we have a disabled vehicle that's reported over there, so we'll get you more of that when we find out more. 70 on the east side as you go eastbound approaching Fortville Pike. The delay is still there, but no longer a stalled vehicle, so hopefully that should thin out momentarily. This report is sponsored by Train Heating and Cooling Systems. Train Heating and Cooling Systems are engineered to keep up with you. They run together. Visit traininfo.com to find your local independent Train dealer. It's hard to stop a train. I'm Dan Levy. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Oh, look at this on the YouTube chat. Mo Wine says, not Kenny Rogers for president. I would love that. Pretty much anything above what we have right now would be an upgrade, but certainly not Kenny Rogers. I'll take that. Right now, we've got sunshine, 88 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Is this anything? Next.
Cindy Carrasco has spent a career holding the powerful accountable. As Indiana's Inspector General and Director of the State Ethics Commission, Cindy fought waste, fraud, and abuse wherever she found it. Cindy also combated wrongdoing in state government, which meant standing up and doing the right thing even if it wasn't popular. Now, as our state senator, Cindy Carrasco continues to fight on behalf of all Hoosiers by improving the quality of our children's education, providing tax relief for everyone, and working to make our communities safe by getting law enforcement the resources they need to fight crime, violence, and keep fentanyl away from our families. It's why Cindy has been endorsed by the Indiana Fraternal Order of Police, State Police Alliance, and the Professional Firefighters of Indiana. Because they know that Cindy has their back, and we know she has ours. Vote for more government transparency, better schools, lower taxes, and safer streets. Vote Cindy Carrasco for State Senate.
Paid for by Cindy for Senate.
According to a 2023 Gallup poll, 71% of non-retired adults are worried about retirement saving. At Howard Bailey Financial, we don't believe retiring with confidence should be guesswork. In fact, our mission is to help you gain clarity and purpose and elevate meaning in your life through personal and practical financial strategies. That's why we provide our Retire with Purpose Toolkit at no cost. In it, you'll find valuable information on minimizing taxes, maximizing Social Security, and building a retirement income you won't outlive. To receive your complimentary toolkit, text CLARITY to 866-482-9559. Take a step toward a more confident retirement with Howard Bailey Financial and text CLARITY to 866-482-9559.
This endorsement was not provided by a client of Howard Bailey. This individual was compensated for this endorsement. For more information, visit howardbailey.com/TS1.
Whether it's the good food or the friendly mood, you can count on Indiana to never lose when it comes to tailgating. And we want to see you at every game. That's why Hubler's got you covered with the best warranty around. So kick off the season in a Hubler quality pre-owned vehicle. Choose from over 2,000 Chevys, Fords, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and many more. All makes and models. Certified. Luxury. Even the hard-to-find ones. Every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty and includes a 128-point vehicle inspection, plus a free Carfax history report. Keep the tradition alive, knowing Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles.
Hubler's got you covered.
Visit drivehubler.com or any of our 12 locations.
Cover me!
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
Did you know that Pepto-Bismol provides fast 5-symptom relief for nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, and diarrhea? Of course you do, because everyone knows the Pepto song. But did you know that Pepto also comes in convenient and delightful solid forms?
Pepto has very fast melt cherry chewables, liquid caps that make relief easy.
Pepto makes relief on the go easy. So when you overdo it, undo it with Pepto. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Attention all Hoosiers, a historically important election is headed our way. The time to prepare for the election is now. Are you registered to vote? Do you have a plan to vote? The Indiana Secretary of State's office wants to remind you, registering to vote or updating your registration is fast, easy, and can be done online at indianavoters.com. You must be registered 30 days before Election Day, so get registered and get out to vote. This message is sponsored by the Indiana Secretary of State's office.
Advent is now open in Indianapolis and Avon. Find out more at adventknows.com.
Breathe well with simple solutions. adventknows.com.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Sundown Gardens, Hamilton County's fall nursery headquarters.
Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything?
All right, let's rock and roll.
Jeff Boggs is filling in for Big Nige, and the name of this game is This Anything? This is where I run a couple quirky back page stories by you, and you just tell us if it's anything or not. But during the commercial break, you were telling me this was how you would pitch ideas when you wrote for Letterman.
Oh, without a doubt, in the room. So it would always be like, it'd be 10 writers in the room. You go around, and you'd always preface the pitch with, "Is this anything?" And then if it was something, a couple people would laugh. But if it was nothing, instead of saying no, the head writer would go, "Maybe."
Maybe. Just like when you're a kid and you ask, "Can we go to Dairy Queen?" Maybe. That's a no.
Yes.
That's a no. Well, I love that. How about this? Is this anything? A 9-year-old had urine spilled all over her when she tilted a candle on the shelf at a Dollar General store in Indiana so she could smell it. Apparently, someone has been filling the tops of these candles with pee at the store, and when she tipped it over to smell it, pee fell all over her. Here's her mom talking about what happened and why they have not yet caught the culprit.
She picked up a candle to smell and tilted it back, and it literally, liquid went down her. And at first we're like, maybe it's just water. And as we're walking through the store, we get a foul smell. And Grace goes, Mom, my shirt really stinks. They told me it's been happening over a month and they're not able to catch the person doing it. And there's no cameras down the aisles where he is doing it. The manager has asked for corporate to put in cameras in those areas, and corporate just doesn't want to pay for it.
That anything?
I mean, it's something. Obviously, if you can't stand the urine, get out of the Dollar General store. That's all I
Whose
have.
grandparent didn't say that to him at some point in their life?
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. When you go into one of these cheap stores, Dollar General, Dollar Tree, there's a number of these dollar places, you kind of expect to smell pee at some point, don't you?
I think you do. I actually was in a Dollar General in Fishers over the weekend, and my girlfriend and I went in, and I was looking for a small table, and they didn't have a small table, but we stayed there for 45 minutes while she tried on $3 dresses. So,
I swear to God, I thought you were going to say while she peed on candles.
No, I don't think so.
Is this anything? Singer Katy Perry won the MTV Video Vanguard Award last night at the MTV Video Music Awards, which apparently are still a thing. And she gave an extremely unimpressive 10-minute performance that had her on cables. She was trying to do some sort of acrobatic act above the stage, and it didn't really work. But when it came time for her speech, she began with what she's doing now.
Oh my gosh! Thank you. I did that all on my first day of my period, too. Can you believe it?
Oh.
Thank you so much to MTV for believing in my weirdness from day one and for helping artists extend their worlds beyond a song. I just want to say with my whole heart, do whatever it takes to stay true to yourself and true to your art. Turn off social media, safeguard your mental health, pause, touch grass. And do what you were born to do, just like I was born to do this. 143 comes out September 20th. I love you!
So we got a bad performance and then a period reference. Is that anything?
Can I just take 1 second and speak to all the kids listening out there?
Please.
Hey, kids, your music today sucks. That's nothing.
I feel like we need the More You Know jingle to pop on right after that. Last one here. Is this anything? In 2011, the readers of Rolling Stone voted the song We Built This City by Starship as the worst song of the 80s. And now it's ended up as a new toilet paper jingle. Take a listen.
We quilt this city. We quilt this city with a comfy roll. Say it doesn't matter. Say it's all the same. But we are here to change your toilet paper game. The quilted comfort of quilted order.
Okay, I think we've heard enough.
I'm going to tell you, going into this, I wanted to hate it, but listening to that song, genius. So I think that's something.
Would you rather, if you're going to listen to a toilet paper commercial or watch a toilet paper commercial on television, see something that has that jingle or bears dancing around the fact that they're going to be vigorously wiping their bare butt with toilet paper?
I think that jingle is going to revolutionize the toilet paper industry. I think it was great. And so that's something, and kudos to whoever wrote that.
When I become the president, we're going to start having commercials that show what toilet paper is actually used for. Picking up crap on the floor, dead bugs, poop, whatever, and people vigorously wiping their backside. It's that kind of transparency that a Hammer administration is going to have, Jeff.
I will tell you this, though. Going back to the Dollar General store, I did buy dollar toilet paper. Never, ever do that.
No. You might as well have sandpaper going up your backside.
Terrible.
It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Hey, Mark Dietel is the only real estate expert I trust and recommend with the sale of my home. And once he sells my home, I definitely trust Mark to find me a brand new one. Like Mitch in Martinsville. Mitch's home was getting too big. He was looking to downsize after hearing about Mark Dietel on our show. He decided to go with Mark Was able to get multiple offers within 48 hours and had that home closed in 30 days.
Again, you've got a lot of options in the real estate game, but you deserve the best. And Mark Dietl is the best. And what separates him from the competition is the guarantee. Mark Dietl guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. That is the Mark Dietl guarantee. You pick your move date, no long-term contracts, and you can cancel at any time. Call Mark Dietl today, 755-4232. That's 317-755-4232, or go to markdietl.com. Mark, D-I-E-T-E-L, markdietl.com. Tell him Hammer and Nigel sent you.
JMV here from Miss M's Home and Garden in Bargersville. The fall specials are waiting for you this week, including 30% off herbaceous perennials and 50% off all pottery at Miss M's. Been holding off on patio furniture? Now's the time to buy. 20% off patio furniture this week at Miss M's in Bargersville. They also have everything fall in stock. Central Indiana grown mums, pumpkins, gourds, and more. Visit for great fall selections today. Miss M's Home and Garden on State Road 135, just south of Whiteland Road.
What is 988? It's a way forward. It's a listening ear. It's whatever help you need, when you need it. The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline offers trained crisis specialists, ready to talk to you 24/7. If you or someone you love is experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis in their life, call or text 988. Want more information? Visit 988indiana.org.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first-time Nana moments.
Welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't-miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
The crucial component. You've got 88 degrees. I'm Donnie Burgess. Here's what's trending at 432. The Bipartisan Investigative Committee will begin investigating claims of sexual harassment in Indianapolis city government. Mayor Joe Hogsett put pen to paper today.
Every employee in the city of Indianapolis needs to be assured that if they have a complaint, that it is confidential, it can be anonymous, it will be investigated.
Hogsett says there's no statute of limitations on complaints made to city HR. He also denied having any intention on resigning. You've heard the Democratic nominee for governor talk property tax and education plans. Ryan Hedrick reports the blue ticket is now proposing marijuana reform.
It's a 5-point plan that Jennifer McCormick calls common sense. She says the economic impact of legalizing marijuana is clear.
I mean, $172 million is an estimate, but that's a lot of money that could be used for a lot of needs in the state of Indiana at that local level.
The plan starts by creating a commission to oversee the state's cannabis industry. McCormick says the end goal is to fully legalize marijuana for adults. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
There will be no third debate, says former President Trump in a post on Truth Social. Trump says he's already debated President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris, and he believes he won both times. Harris wants another debate. The vice president also says she will do more local interviews in battleground states and make herself more available to the press. You probably heard Taylor Swift endorse Kamala Harris for president. Indiana Fever rookie Caitlin Clark liked that post and says she's not endorsing anyone herself.
I think for myself is, I have this amazing platform, so I think the biggest thing would be just encourage people to register to vote. I think for myself, this is the second time I can vote in an election. At age 22, I could vote when I was 18, so I think do that.
Election day is November 5th. The closing bell report on 93 WIBC. The Dow Jones up 235 points, finishing the day at 41,096. The NASDAQ up 174 to 17,569. And the S&P 500 finishing the positive day up 41 points to 5,595. WIBC News Time 4:35. Traffic and weather coming up in 1 minute.
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated, forlorn even, like your efforts are futile, and you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine. Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all of that. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, you can forget your frustrations because we find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day.
Fantastic.
So, whether you need to hire 4, 40, or 400 people, get ready to meet first-rate talent. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. Don't forget, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Finally, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
With a look at traffic, here's Dan Levy.
Good news, 465 in the south end westbound, just after 65. Vehicle fire is gone, but still a pretty decent-sized delay from Emerson into where that vehicle fire was. 65 in the north end southbound. Traffic is hitting the brakes from Martin Luther King into Meridian. This report is sponsored by B-Window. Now, employee-owned B-Window is celebrating this month with employee pricing for everyone. Get 60% off plus 18 months no interest or payments. Trust your home to B. Visit bwindow.com for details. I'm Dan Levy. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And now the forecast, brought to you by the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
We're doing all right Thursday evening, cloudy with a low temperature dropping to 64 degrees, and we'll throw in a few raindrops likely in the afternoon hours on Friday. Nothing too severe, just a couple of showers around. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Junior Sutis for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Donnie Burgess, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
If you are online right now, give us a like on the YouTube page. Go to WIBC's YouTube feed. There's a dedicated camera on Jeff Boggs' face. He's filling in for Big Nige today. There's a camera on me, but more importantly than anything else, the manager of our digital department, Nick, said he would break my legs if we didn't have at least 100 likes on the YouTube page. So let me refresh and see exactly how many we have right now. I see 49. So we got to get over 100. So do us a solid. Like the YouTube feed, get us over 100 so Nick in the back doesn't have to inflict bodily harm on anybody here. Thank you very much. Jeff, you have worked with a lot of famous people before. Did you ever cross paths with Harvey Weinstein?
I did. The one, it was 97, maybe early 98, and I think it was Shakespeare in Love when Miramax was promoting that at Letterman. And nobody really knew Harvey or his brother back then. They just knew he was a big deal. And everyone backstage at Letterman was so on edge that this big guy, Harvey Weinstein, was coming in. And people were like, you know, I didn't know who it was. And then he showed up, he got out of the limo, and there was I'd never seen Satan in person, but there was something about him that made me feel so uneasy. And he went to the green room, and the whole thing, I think it was Gwyneth Paltrow was in there, and the whole thing felt kind of gross. You know, you take a shower afterwards, kind of gross.
Right.
And that was the one time that I saw him in person.
I believe it was Gavin Newsom's current wife who claimed that Harvey Weinstein's junk looked like a fish, a flaccid fish in a court testimony. Now, the reason we bring up Harvey Weinstein, a grand jury has indicted him on additional charges. It's been reported that the film tycoon was indicted on additional sex crime charges. Prosecutors have said that the information will not be discussed until he's able to appear in court. He's still awaiting a November 12th retrial date. He almost kicked it, allegedly, recently from some heart attack, but his big retrial date for all of the casting couch type of things is scheduled for November 12th.
But just to clarify, you're talking about Harvey Weinstein, you're talking about Oprah's best friend, you're talking about Matt Damon and Ben Affleck's good buddy, right? That Harvey Weinstein?
Correct. Michelle Obama's BFF, Harvey Weinstein.
Right. Her child, I believe, interned for Harvey Weinstein. So I just wanted to make sure we were talking about the same Harvey Weinstein.
Correct. Yeah, we always heard. Now, again, I've never even probably been in the same state as this guy before, but we always heard, the worst kept secret in Hollywood was that Harvey Weinstein was a creeper, was a pervert. And you just told us you saw the dude and just had a bad feeling about it.
Yeah, you could tell. It's like when you see Jimmy Kimmel for the first time. You know he's evil.
Love to hear that. Allison, can I get some mood music, please? This story about John Bon Jovi is pretty cool. Like, you might not like his politics. He does a lot of these fundraisers for the Democrats or whatever, but I think this is pretty cool. I don't know. So he was in Nashville, and there was a woman on that pedestrian bridge, the walking bridge, that was getting ready to jump into the Cumberland River, trying to kill herself, allegedly. Well, there's video of this. There's all types of things going on, but it looks like John Bon Jovi was able to talk to this woman. He happened to be there doing a number of different things. I think it was like a movie or a TV show he was filming, because he's an actor and a singer now. So he was filming something. He saw this woman that was on the outside of where she was supposed to be, facing the river, and he was able to talk to her, calm her down, engage her in a conversation. And a lot of first responders are saying that conversation saved this woman's life.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, that bridge, obviously, anyone who's been in Nashville, I lived there for 6 years, that bridge is, right in the middle of the city. That's where they shot the Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy video. So the fact that she picked it there, I don't know exactly what was going on there or why she was so close to Bon Jovi, who was shooting a music video, I guess.
Something.
The whole thing stinks right now. I'm going to wait a couple days to find out. Obviously, the woman had some type of mental problems, but I got to wait a few days to hear exactly how this pans out before I believe that John Bon Jovi was the hero here.
The police chief of Nashville, John Drake, said in a statement, quote, "It takes all of us to help keep each other safe."
Can I bring up something really quick? I watched a documentary, speaking of Nashville and police. I don't know if anyone saw the Steve McNair documentary. I just watched it over the weekend. One of the worst documentaries I've ever seen in my life. They didn't tell you anything. The police who were interviewed didn't mention anything about who possibly could have killed Steve McNair other than the Dave & Buster's waitress. But I digress. I'm sorry for going off topic. I just had to get that off my chest.
No, you're fine. And I want to talk a little bit more about Nashville here because you lived there for a little bit. And we were talking in the back. Like, I go to Nashville quite a bit. I've been to Milwaukee a couple different times. And what I've noticed is that these are cities similar to Indianapolis, maybe not identical, but similar to Indianapolis, Democrat leadership. But when I go up and down their tourist areas, not the inner cities, but the tourist areas, the places where you drink, the places where you eat, the hotel zone, I don't see as many homeless folks. I don't see as many threats as I do here in Indy. Now, maybe I'm biased because I'm here and I see the news every day and I talk about the news. But we have shootings in our tourist areas here. Does that happen in Nashville? Does that happen in Milwaukee?
I mean, Nashville's a bit of a different beast because, the whole town is just geared toward drinking. So everyone's going to go down to Broadway. Everyone's going to hang out on Broadway. If you get 3 miles outside of downtown Nashville, there's really not a lot. I mean, the Grand Ole Opry, where it is now, is 20 miles away. So they've done a nice job, I think, with safety in Nashville. The only thing you got to watch out for are bachelorette parties, because there's a lot of those going on. But as far as safety, I'll just be honest. Maybe this is not a great opinion, but since I've been in Indy, I'm shocked by how nice it is. And when I walk around downtown, I saw like 3 homeless people today and, said hi to them. But coming from LA, this is Eden. It's beautiful. So, So Nashville downtown is much different because the entire city is located there. This, you have your Broad Ripple, you have your Carmel, you have your Northeast Side.
Which have all had high profile shootings. And that's the thing that I'm saying here. Like, everybody's going to have a few bums once in a while. But like when you've got like the Dutch soldiers that were shot and killed over here off of Meridian, the high-profile shooting near Georgia Street, all of the nonsense that's happened in Broad Ripple. Again, maybe these are isolated incidents, but these are the tourist areas. Like when I walk the Las Vegas Strip, and I'm a Vegas guy too, you don't see that type of stuff all that often.
Right. I mean, Vegas, that's a different beast altogether. But I do think, Indy, what I love about this is my hometown. I'm so happy to be back here. Can it improve? Sure. But from what I've seen so far, my goodness, this place is awesome. Nashville, if you don't drink, there's no reason to live there.
I drink, so I'd be fine. Let's go into great moments in Bon Jovi history. Since we're talking about Bon Jovi here, Jeffrey, tell me if this does anything for you here. Somebody mashed up Bon Jovi's Living on a Prayer with Aha's Take on Me. Tell me if this moves the needle for you. It's upbeat, at least. That do anything for you?
Yeah, I'm a snob. I'm a snob with BPM. So to me, they had to speed up John's voice. So that does not do it. That's nothing.
Okay, how about this? John Bon Jovi put out one of the worst Christmas songs of all time. Ooh. We just call it the Bon Jovi Christmas Turd. Now, it's hard to have a bad Christmas song, right? Everybody's in the mood and they're willing to forgive crap. Like during the holidays, we will turn up I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas. But Bon Jovi somehow found a way to write a Christmas turd.
Sinatra was swinging, all the drunks they were singing, on the kiss on the corner and misty the night. The boys from the NYPD choir was singing, Galway Bay, and the bells are ringing out for Christmas Day.
Boy, that's bad. I don't think, I haven't heard that before.
No one has, because it's a turd. It's a total turd. Look up Bon Jovi Christmas song about New York, and if you can get through the first 45 seconds without punching your phone or punching your laptop, you're a braver person than I am. And last but not least, great moments in Bon Jovi history. We were talking about parody songs during the commercial break. Our record company, Hammer and Nigel Records, put a little Bon Jovi-themed something together about my love for McDonald's. Ooh, I'm a fat boy in the Mickey D's drive-through line, and I'm hungry. Not Hibbling. Big Mac and fries.
Oh, here we go. Come on.
Oh, and I buy these meats. Let's go. I've got McNuggets in my sack. Yeah. I bought McRibs in case they don't bring them back. I've been everywhere. Yeah. And they've got the best Coke. True. I've seen 1,000,000 shake machines, and they've all been broke. Because I'm a fat boy in the Mickey D's drive-through line, and I'm hungry. Big Mac and fries.
Big finish.
Hungry. Big Mac and fries.
There it is.
See, they got the Big Mac. I got the Big Mick.
Oh, looking at the YouTube chat, people love it when I sing. Christina says you've got the voice of an angel and I should sing even more, Jeff.
You sounded great. I think the writing was strong. A couple tweaks on some of the verses, but I think that was a hit. So nice work.
I'll take it. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Galaxy Concrete Coatings, my Galaxy Concrete garage floor is out of this world. These guys work miracles. If you could have seen my garage floor before Galaxy came in and put this super non-slippery, 4 times as strong finish on it, you would have been amazed because it's like night and day. They took an uneven, faded, cracked, dirty garage floor and turned it into something beautiful. And I'm having them back to my house to come downstairs in my basement to do the furnace room, which is also a mess. Galaxy Concrete Coatings could do your garage, basement, pool, deck, any indoor or outdoor area concrete. So check out their website, check out their pictures, get a quote, galaxyconcretecoatings.com, or give them a call, 751-9070.
Xfinity here. How can we help?
Hi, my daughter invited her entire class to her birthday party. Can my Wi-Fi handle it?
Oh, well, at Xfinity, our latest gateways have tri-band Wi-Fi technology, letting you connect hundreds of devices at once.
No way. So if all the kids are watching stuff on their phones, while their parents are sharing videos online.
Yep, go ahead and watch videos. They can all do their thing and party their way. No problem.
Oh, we are gonna need a bigger cake.
Now through September 22nd, get fast, reliable, 150 megabit Xfinity internet for just $30 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract. And get Wi-Fi equipment included. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Xfinity, bring on the good stuff. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless bill and an auto-pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply. Currently $71 a month. Actual speeds vary.
After college, Mike Braun could have gone anywhere. He chose to move back to his hometown of Jasper, Indiana. There, he started a small business, kept his head down, worked hard, and turned his small business into a national company, employing thousands of Hoosiers. He'll use that same determination for us. Lead the charge on lowering the price of gas, groceries, energy. Take on the big healthcare companies to increase healthcare access and lower costs. And Mike will improve education across our state by increasing school choice. Mike will make our streets safer, back the blue, and stop illegal immigration if the federal government won't. Because Braun believes every Hoosier should be safe and secure in their community. As governor, Braun will continue working for Hoosiers. Because when you're Mike, working hard is just what you do. Mike Braun, governor. Paid for by Mike Braun for Indiana.
Don't miss the holiday concert experience of the season. Trans-Siberian Orchestra, The Lost Christmas Eve. December 19th, Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Reserve seats on sale Friday at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster. An awe-inspiring blend of rock, classical, and holiday music for the entire family. Don't miss Trans-Siberian Orchestra, live in concert.
Healthcare.gov is here for you when life happens. If you lost your health coverage because of turning 26, going off Medicaid, leaving your job, or moving, you could be eligible to enroll in new coverage now. And if you need to update your coverage because of marriage or having a baby, you could also be eligible. But don't wait. There's a limited time to enroll. Check your eligibility at healthcare.gov today. Life happens. Get covered. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
The Sundown Gardens Fall Open House is Saturday. Local craft vendors 11 to 3, Hamilton County Llamas 11 to 1, 186th Street and Spring Mill Road in Westfield.
To celebrate, Be Employee Owned, Be's offering employee pricing 60% off plus 18 months no interest, no payment.
Proud to be employee owned. Trust me.
Check out what's going on with 93 WIBC.
Head to the contest page at WIBC.com and enter for your chance to win 2 tickets to see Trans-Siberian Orchestra Thursday, December 19th at Gainbridge Fieldhouse.
More info online at WIBC.com.
Caller number 9 right now. You get a pair of tickets to go see Brooks and Dunn, the New Moon Tour with special guest David Lee Murphy. Little dust on the bottle. Check that out. Thursday, April 3rd, Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Tickets go on sale this Friday at 10 a.m. Again, Brooks and Dunn, a hit machine, as we pointed out earlier. And we're going to give you 2 tickets. Caller number 9 right now, 239-9393. Dan Levy, what's going on?
Hammer on the area roadways. Traffic is stop and go on the east end of 465 northbound between Pendleton Pike into 69. 65 on the north end southbound. Delays continue from Martin Luther King into Meridian. And then 70 on the east end westbound. You're seeing brake lights from rural to 65 north split. This report is sponsored by B Window. Now employee-owned B Window is celebrating this month with employee pricing for everyone. Get 60% off plus 18 months no interest or payments. Trust your home to B. Visit bwindow.com for details. I'm Dan Levy. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
88 right now at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Coming up here in just a little bit, Donnie Burgess from the WIBC Newsroom will join us. He's got the latest on the Delphi murders and investigation, the appeals process. We'll get up to speed with all things Delphi with Donnie Burgess. I'm Jason Hammer, and Jeffrey Boggs is filling in for Big Nige. Tell me about that hat.
Oh, this hat? Are you talking about the large blue hat that says 7-time fantasy football champion?
That hat.
Oh, sure. Well, it's a little thing. I don't like to talk about it much, but I'll bring it up if I have a second. My family and friends and I have had a fantasy football league for the last 23 years, and I've won 7 times. And
it's a dynasty.
Well, it's something that I'm proud of. And it's, people out there are probably going to call me a hero or, say, my goodness, you're the smartest guy I've ever met. I'm not. I'm just like them. I put my pants on one leg at a time. It's just when I do, I win fantasy football championships.
I love to hear that. Like when I think about the great human beings that we've talked about in the last 30 minutes, it's you, a big space, and then Bon Jovi for saving that woman in Nashville. All right, do not go anywhere. Again, we're having fun this afternoon. Rob Kendall's going to go off the rails. We're going to have a special Thirsty Thursday edition of Caller Roulette. All of that is on the way. This is the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Man, do I love the new patio furniture I received from Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. Free delivery, by the way. We've been spending a lot of time on that patio furniture. It's gorgeous out on my front porch. They still have their Made in the USA Labor Day sale going on, by the way. Lazy Boys starting at $3.99. Queen mattresses starting at $3.99. Sofas, $4.99. Interest-free financing available. We're talking, did I mention free delivery? Of course. Plus the low price guarantee on Tempur-Pedic mattresses. Another item which I've received from Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
I love these guys. Our listeners love these guys. I love it when I get pictures from Thompson Furniture and Mattress of Hammer and Nigel customers down there. And when I talk to our listeners, they get treated like rock stars. Thompson Furniture and Mattress, free delivery and setup. If you live within 75 miles of their store, owned and operated by the same family since 1927, they support us at Hammer and Nigel Show. Support these guys. ThompsonFurniture.net. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Whether it's the good food or the friendly mood, you can count on Indiana to never lose when it comes to tailgating. And we want to see you at every game. That's why Hubler's got you covered with the best warranty around. So kick off the season in a Hubler quality pre-owned vehicle. Choose from over 2,000 Chevys, Fords, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and many more. All makes and models. Certified. Luxury. Even the hard-to-find ones. Every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty and includes a 128-point vehicle inspection, plus a free Carfax history report. Keep the tradition alive, knowing Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles.
Hubler's got you covered.
Visit drivehubler.com or any of our 12 locations.
Cover me!
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
Will you be there?
This is just such a prestigious place and such hallowed ground.
Reigning Brickyard 400 champ and 2024 Indy 500 Rookie of the Year, Kyle Larson will try to make history racing and winning the Indy 500 presented by Gamebridge and the NASCAR Coca-Cola 600 in the same day.
I love you, Indiana fans. How about we come back next May and try and kiss these bricks on the IndyCar?
Don't miss your chance to see Kyle Larson take on two-time defending champion Joseph Newgarden and all the stars of IndyCar at the 109th running of the Indianapolis 500.
See you guys all next May.
For ticket info, visit ims.com.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Your home is your sanctuary. Get the peace of mind you deserve with a free estimate on a Generac automatic standby generator for your home from Generator Supercenter, the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer. With expert installation and 24-hour monitoring, Generator Supercenter won't leave you in the dark. Financing is available. Take control of your power today with Generator Supercenter. Call 317-827-0808. Generator Supercenter of Indianapolis, 317-827-0808.
Your local news coming up next from the Technology Recycler Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 5 o'clock, Fox News.
One of two she's holding today in North Carolina.
We are loving our campaign, aren't we? We are loving this campaign. We're having a good time. We're having a good time. I know that.
But she's warning supporters the race will be tight until the end. She's taken the lead in the Fox News power rankings after North Carolina and Georgia shifted from lean Republican to toss-up states. Harris also just said voters deserve a second debate between her and former President Trump, who's been claiming victory in Tuesday's face-off, and after also debating President Biden in June, now says there will not be a third debate. He is about to hold a rally in Arizona.
Fox Digital reports the Democratic National Committee had planned to troll the former president here in Tucson with a newly released campaign video to be played on a mobile billboard just outside this event center. The topic, her debate comments on his rallies.
Fox's Alicia Acuna in Tucson, where there were long lines to get in. 2 criminal counts against the former president are dismissed in the Georgia election interference case. A Fulton County judge ruling that prosecutors didn't have the proper authority for those charges related to filing false documents, but that the other charges stand against multiple defendants, including Trump, accused of scheming to overturn 2020 election results. Attorney General Merrick Garland defending the Justice Department from claims of weaponization.
Our norms are a promise that we will not allow this department to be used as a political weapon.
In a speech to the DOJ workforce and an annual conference of federal prosecutors, saying they fiercely protect the department's independence. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It was all on the table today. Good afternoon. It's mostly sunny and 88. I'm Donnie Burgess. Here's what's trending at 5:02. Sexual misconduct, a new proposal, and Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett taking questions. John Herrick reports on a Thursday news conference.
Accusations of sexual harassment against Hogsett's former deputy mayor, Thomas Cook, have been going on for nearly a decade. Cook's victims say Hogsett didn't do nearly enough to stop him. Many people in Indianapolis have wondered if it was because Cook has dirt on Hogsett, but Hogsett says that's inaccurate.
That I, at any point in time, have worried that Thomas Cook would had information about me that he would share with other people.
Also on Thursday, Hogsett signed a proposal allowing an investigative committee to look into sexual harassment accusations within the mayor's administration. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
A 5-point plan to eventually legalize marijuana in the Hoosier State revealed Thursday by Democratic nominee for governor Jennifer McCormick. She says the economic benefits are clear.
I mean, $172 million is an estimate, but that's a lot of money that could be used for a lot of needs in the state of Indiana at that local level.
A man was stabbed at the Indiana Convention Center Wednesday night and eventually died.
Our hearts go out to the family, the victim involved. We have another senseless homicide that didn't need to occur.
Off-duty cops and people downtown helped catch the crook, says Indy Metro Police Commander Scott Hessong. You've probably noticed a lack of rain.
In fact, so far in September, we've only had about 0.05 of an inch here at Indy. Some areas of the state have had a little bit more, and some haven't even received that.
And that has resulted in a moderate drought, says forecaster Randy Bowers. And you're paying an average of $3.16 a gallon for gas today, says AAA. That's down 14 cents from last week. WIBC News Time, 5:04. Traffic and weather coming up in 1 minute.
Hey, listen, are you a 50-year-old person looking for term life insurance? Then you need to talk to Bob. Bob specializes in helping people find $1 million or more of term life insurance for a couple of $100 a month. Look, you need to know there's a price war in the term life insurance business, and you may be paying too much. Call Bob, and he'll shop and see how much money he can save you. Look, this could be the last term life insurance policy you ever have. Your rates are guaranteed for the next 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rates for the next 20 years. And if you're a smoker or your health is not perfect, Bob has great rates for you too. So for $1 million of term life insurance coverage for a couple of $100 a month, call Bob right now. 800-890-5075. 800-890-5075. 800-890-5075. That's 800-890-5075. Paid for by Term Direct.
With traffic on the fives at 5:05, here's Dan Levy.
No major incidents to report at the moment, but a lot of delays to fill in your travel times. 465 on the east end northbound, heavy traffic Pendleton Pike into 69. On the east end, or maybe at the north end of 465 going eastbound, you're just seeing delays from Westfield to 69. And 6570 Collector in both directions, jammed all the way through. This report is sponsored by Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. They've teamed up with the Indiana Fever and Common Threads to provide local schools with information for nutritious meal preparation. Learn more at anthem.com/fever. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is the trade name of Anthem Insurance Companies, Inc. I'm Dan Levy. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And now the forecast brought to you by the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
We're doing all right Thursday evening, cloudy with low temperature dropping to 64 degrees, and we'll throw in a few raindrops likely in the afternoon hours on Friday. Nothing too severe, just a couple of showers around. I'm Wish TV's Storm Track 8 meteorologist Junior Sutis for 93 WIBC.
The Hammer and Nigel Show up next. I'm Donnie Burgess on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock! It is the Hammer and Nigel Show. My name is Jason Hammer. Producer Allison is here. Not Kenny Rogers on social media. Jeff Boggs is filling in for Big Nige. Coming up here in just about 30 minutes, Rob Kendall will flip out, rip his shirt off, and go off the rails. Nige and I taped a conversation with him a little bit earlier, so you're going to hear that. Nige had a little situation happen, so short notice, my man Jeff Boggs came in. So thank you so much.
Hey, thanks for calling me, and prayers out to Nige.
For sure. All right. So Donnie Burgess is here from the newsroom. Delphi Donnie, as we've dubbed him. You have been all over the Delphi investigation and the hearings and the soon-to-be trial. Last time we spoke, the defense, they were not real happy with the fact they could not present their Odinism defense or name other suspects connected to the Odinism defense at the upcoming trial. So they filed an appeal. What's the latest?
Yes, they filed the appeal, and like so many other major decisions in this case, the appeal had to be approved by Judge Gall, and that was not the case this week. Judge Gall chose, she had a couple options. It could have just sat there, and it would have been essentially denied without anyone messing with it, but she went ahead and quickly denied this request, so that way I guess things can go on and get to trial.
Now, listen, I do not have a law degree. There's a lot of lawyers that work here at WIBC, from Guy Relford to Abdul. There's a bunch of lawyers walking around. But I think to the common person, Donnie, it seems a little, I don't know, crappy is the right word, that if you're upset with the judge's decision and you want an appeal, it's the same judge you're upset with that makes that appeal. Does that make sense?
I mean, maybe to a law person, it may. But this has been a mental maze of a case to try and understand. And, the prosecutor quickly said that he wanted the judge to go ahead and refuse this, which she did. And the prosecutor said that this entire thing would confuse the jury. It would create a second delay in the trial. And it doesn't raise any questions of law. And legal experts I've talked to say it actually does, because it goes back to Allen's right to a fair trial.
Because it seems like if I were upset with Jeff about something and I said, Jeff, please don't say that again, I want an appeal. And then Jeff looks at me and goes, nope. I mean, it's the same person, right? The same person telling you, it's my way or the highway here. And listen, maybe all this is a bunch of bull crap from the defense. Maybe they're just throwing crap against the wall, but I just don't like the fact that we're questioning the integrity of this trial, because we all want the same thing. You want a fair, transparent trial, so we either have the right person or don't have the right person. That's all we're asking for. And I'm telling you, something stinks when the same judge you've got a problem with is the one handling your appeal, and then surprise, surprise, says kick rocks.
And I remember bringing this up, I believe, last week when all of this started. There is a small, tiny opening for the defense to present their theories once again to the judge at the trial with no jury in the room. The same judge who has continued to deny this in the first place. So I don't quite understand that part of it as well. So, yeah, when you talk about transparency and wanting a resolution to the case, there just seems to be conflict every single step of the way.
And Jeff, you moved back to Indianapolis from LA a couple months ago, I believe, but you're from here. You've got family here. You've heard of what's happening with the Delphi trial, right? Like, this is going to be one of those, when it does go to trial, one of these national, it's got my attention type of things.
Yeah, it has all the elements of, that big, crazy story that no one's going to really be able to wrap their heads around until the trial starts. And from what I understand, there's one person who's admitted to the crime, but there's someone else who everyone thinks may have had something to do with it. So I'm fascinated to keep hearing more information.
Yeah, and then a little bit of an update that I was able to obtain. I reached out to Judge Gall about 2 weeks ago, and she got back to me this week. And she said, anything you want to know about media access, well, you'll find out when I make that decision. And a part of yesterday's denial of the defense's request for appeal was also a sweeping, complete denial of news media, once again requesting to broadcast this trial.
You can be against having media in the courtroom. That's fine. I get it. But a dedicated camera that can be right there. Technology exists where you can have a dedicated camera with coordinated microphones to bring transparency. That's all we're asking for.
Yeah, that's the thing. Every time we have these discussions, what all of this boils down to, again, is 2 little girls killed over 7 years ago. And the way this is going, every single decision made by all parties involved creates so many opportunities for this case to live on for many more years in appeals courts and everything of that nature. And when the public cannot see what's happening, when they find out 12, 16, 18 hours later, and there's no clear understanding of what's happening, it just does not seem satisfactory for all involved.
How is the public going to find out? Is the court just going to walk outside and tell a pool of reporters what happened? Or is it like a lottery here? Or some lucky winner's going to be in the court?
So this will be a little tease for next week. I can't say much about it, but the information will become available to us by the end of the next week.
Okay. All right. And when that happens, we expect to have you back, Donnie.
I will be right here.
Where can we get more information?
WIBC.com.
Donnie Burgess from the WIBC Newsroom. Donnie, great stuff as always. Thanks, man. Dateline Columbus, Ohio. I think this is awesome. This is one of my favorite stories of the day. Some dude in Columbus named Mike. He signed up for the ZZ Top fan club back in 1984. It cost him $100. And he's got paperwork and documentation that says that $100 that he spent in 1984 will get him free ZZ Top concert tickets for every tour they go on and backstage passes as well. 40 years later, my man is still cashing in. Like, ZZ Top is going on the road with Leonard Skinner right now. And they've even lost some members. Not just Leonard Skinner, but ZZ Top too. And he's still going on the road cashing in. I love this kind of dedication.
Yeah, sometimes you sit back and you think about what you're doing in your life, and then you see Mike in Columbus, Ohio, and you just feel like a failure because that dude is living it.
Like, I wonder what the equivalent is of spending $100 in 1984 for concert tickets in perpetuity to your favorite band and backstage passes. Like, I'm sure somebody out there is good at math and can break down the numbers. What would that be in today's money? Like, that's fantastic. $100 is a lot of money in 1984.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about millions at this point. If he's really gone to all those shows, that's impressive. Imagine if you would have got stuck doing that for a tool like Luke Bryan, though. You'd almost be forced to go to his concerts, and that would be terrible. Cruel and unusual punishment.
You're not a bro country guy, are you?
I'm not, and I shoehorned that in there, and I'm sorry. I just know our time is short here, and I wanted to mention it at least once.
So if Luke Bryan and Florida Georgia Line walk into a bar, Luke Bryan's performing at one end, Florida Georgia Line's performing at the other, where do you go?
I jump off the bridge in Nashville.
Thank you. That's Jeff filling in for so good. Filling in for Big Nige here. Real quick, shameless plug, the Degenerates Next Door. The podcast is now out, the NFL edition. I told Rob Kendall earlier, if we don't have at least 500 downloads on that by Sunday, Kamala Harris is going to win the election. So go to WIBC.com, click on shows, scroll down to The Degenerates Next Door, or just subscribe wherever you get your podcast, whether it's Apple or iTunes, wherever. Look for The Degenerates Next Door, sports betting podcast, myself, Rob Kendall. I've got a lot of action going on this Thursday night game tonight. So if you want to take a listen, make some bets for tonight, we are in this thing together. All right? We are all in this thing together. The Degenerates Next Door. Dan Levy, you got any action tonight?
Action as far as actually anything on a game, probably just a fantasy football that I can't pick for
who you got in the mix?
Life.
Who's playing for you?
It's terrible. All my teams are terrible. I'm letting my kid do the survival for me now.
Because you're in Chicago right now. So when you say
Yes.
all of your teams are terrible, you're not lying. Like, the Chicago Cubs are probably the breadwinner, and they've underachieved in a division where the runaway leader tried to rebuild.
And let's not even talk about the Southside team that is going to break all kinds of the worst records you could possibly imagine baseball having.
Now, Dan, are you one of these?
They may not even get to 40 games this year.
Now, as a Cub fan, that brings joy to my cold, dark heart. But are you one of these Chicago Bear fans that, even though you looked awful last week and there was no way your team should have won, let alone covered, as soon as they win that first game, you're walking around yelling it's 1985 all over again and snorting a sausage?
I'm not 1985. The last time I was like, okay, we're going to do something. It was Jay Cutler. And on the opening night, he threw like 4 picks to the Green Bay Packers. And I went, I am never, ever putting that much faith into a player ever again. But I will say, Caleb Williams didn't throw any interceptions, didn't turn the ball over, which is something I haven't said about a Bears quarterback in the 12, 15 years that I've lived in Chicago. I've never seen that happen.
I love that's the bar. Like, offensive production-wise, it was one of the worst outings by a quarterback last week. But, well, he didn't throw 4 picks. Hot damn, let's throw a parade. Let's go.
You know what? But that's a start. That's a start. We didn't throw the game away, which is what a lot of Chicago quarterbacks tend to do. And like I said, he's got weapons out there. Can he learn to execute it? I hope.
All right. What's going on, my man?
On the west side, 70 west on the west end, westbound and Meridian, we have crews en route to a possible crash. That's why there's a nasty delay right around the 65 south split. Then you make your way to 465 in the south end westbound. You're slow Emerson to 65 and 65 on the north end going northbound. Delays continue 70 into West Street. This report is sponsored by BJ's Wholesale Club. BJ's Wholesale Club is opening soon in Carmel. At BJ's, members get up to 25% off grocery store prices every day. Visit bjs.com/Carmel or to the membership center at Rangeline Crossing Plaza to join today. I'm Dan Levy. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
88 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. All right, we did not get a chance to do this the other day because the day that we normally do this, we were at the big debate party. Let's do a round of caller roulette. Screw it. Let's get Jeff Boggs in the mix here. Let's let him get the full Hammer and Nigel show experience. If you want to talk about the debate, you can. If you want to hit on Allison, you can. If you want to do everything and in between, let's go. 239-9393. This is where anything can happen. 239-9393. Caller roulette. We're just going to get your name. We're not going to screen out your call. All we ask, just keep it radio clean and turn your radio down. 239-9393.
Hey, what's going on? Hammer and Nigel here. With interest rates skyrocketing everywhere else, Diamonds Direct is here for the rescue. Coming in big, man. This September, this month only, Diamonds Direct Ultimate Offer is back. Stronger than ever and made for you specifically. Diamonds Direct helps you get the perfect jewelry gift with 0% interest. 5 years, 0% financing on any Diamonds Direct purchase.
This is an awesome, awesome deal, but it ends September 30th. Okay, so you don't have as much time as you think. Get to Diamonds Direct right now. Keystone at the Crossing by the Green Bridge. 5 years of 0% financing on any Diamonds Direct purchase. And again, now through the end of the month, you can get Diamonds Direct's incredible value price and spread your payments over 5 years, 0.0 interest rate. DiamondsDirect.com. Stop by. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Denny Smith for Sundown Gardens. This Saturday is the annual Sundown Gardens Fall Open House. Special open house sales, giveaways, local craft vendors from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., and the Hamilton County Llamas from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And these great specials are in place all week. 30% off herbaceous perennials and 50% off pottery. The greenhouse and nursery are full of fall plants. Celebrate fall at Sundown Gardens at 186th Street and Spring Mill Road in Westfield. SundownGardens.com.
It's not a 9-to-5 proposition. It's all day and into the night. It's all the things that keep this world turning. And behind every one of these businesses is a partner like Comcast Business helping to keep it all moving. It's why the local flower shop and your favorite pizza joint, the startup and the stadium, hospitals and hotels, banks and restaurants nationwide. All these businesses choose the advanced network, cybersecurity solutions, and round-the-clock trusted partnership from Comcast Business. From Main Street to Wall Street, our people are powering the businesses that power it all. So when you're ready to unlock what's possible for your business, there's no one better to answer the call. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Restrictions apply. Call or visit ComcastBusiness.com to learn more.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family Heating and Air.
We set out to be the very best of the best, and past couple years we've actually achieved that. For all of the state of Indiana, we've been awarded the Dealer of the Year award twice now. Unlike other brands, that only gets handed to one dealer every year, and we're very proud to have won that twice.
Put the best to work for you at FamilyHVAC.net. Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Brooks and Dunn, the best-selling duo of all time, live.
Something country.
Neon Moon Tour 2025.
Urban neon.
With David Lee Murphy.
A little dust on the bottom of that red dirt road.
April 3rd, Gainbridge Fieldhouse. On sale Friday at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster. Brooks and Dunn Live.
Did you know that Pepto-Bismol provides fast 5-symptom relief for nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, and diarrhea? Of course you do, because everyone knows the Pepto song. But did you know that Pepto also comes in convenient and delightful solid forms?
Pepto has very fast melts, cherry chewables, liquid caps that make relief easy.
Pepto makes relief on the go easy. So when you overdo it, undo it with Pepto. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Miss M's Home and Garden, Johnson County's fall nursery headquarters. Buckle up. Anything can happen here.
Oh, hell yeah. Let it ride. Let it ride.
Hammer and Nigel present Caller Roulette.
This is where things tend to go off the rails. And Rob Kendall's not even up for another 10 minutes. It's the Hammer and Nigel show. I'm Jason Hammer. Jeff Boggs is filling in for Nige today. And look what the cat dragged in. Jerry Lopez, Indy Spanglish, joining us in studio. You want to hang out and do some caller roulette with us?
Oh, yeah. Here just a little early, hosting Tony Kinnett's show after this. Pop by, and this is my favorite part. You never know what you're going to get with these Hammer and Nigel listeners, so I'm ready.
All right. So if you're on hold, again, keep it brief. Keep it clean. Turn your radio down. Let's rock and roll. Jake is up first. Jake, welcome to the show.
Oh, Earth Rider. Hammer, even though the old goat's gone, you've got to always go back to the Biden quote song, because I was laughing so hard the day you come out with that. Look, fat, look, here's the deal. I had to pull my truck over on the side of the road. I was laughing so hard I was crying.
Yeah, that's one of our favorites, man. One of our favorites for sure.
It had me rolling, buddy. But I've got a media question. It's funny because you just said something about Jerry, but this cat Jeff you've had in there, this is the second time I've heard him fill in. He's a cool cat. Now, me, you, and him all went to Ball State. I was there in the 90s. But anyway, between you and him, you being in radio and him being in a television situation, I got a media question, okay? Here it is. I went to the Roku device thing to get my streaming television. And when I was watching March Madness in spring, I had to keep bouncing around to all these different streaming apps to watch Purdue play and what have you. And by the time I got done downloading all these apps, it was as much as when I cut the cord, but I live out in rural Indiana, so I have it on my roof. I don't have direct because I'm not in town with a cable, and I'm trying to figure out, because I've heard you say that you stopped doing that and you went back to the cable. If I choose to do that, DirecTV, cable, or dish, what should I do here? Because I got my computer in my hand. I can pay my bills with it because that runs off satellite. I don't need a home-based computer with all this other stuff, okay?
Gotcha.
So by the time you add up all the costs of all this other stuff that I keep having to download to watch all these games, like the Indiana Fever, I've been bouncing around from these different apps, boom, 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 just to watch. So what do you think about that? What should I do here, buddy?
Well, let me lay in really quick there. The Fever are driving people crazy because at this point you almost have to go out to a sports bar to watch half the games, which costs more than getting the app. So I think that you're just going to have to accept the fact that we are now in a world where games are going to be on different apps. You're going to have to. I have Hulu Live, and I get most of the games that way. But throughout the season, I think tonight's on Amazon. Tonight's Monday night or Thursday night game is on Amazon. So what you can do is figure out what's going to give you the most bang for your buck. Hulu is $90 a month, something like that. So figure that out, but it's never going back. And when you talk about DirecTV or going back to that, you're going to have to look at, well, what are you going to get with it?
Right.
So I don't know if it's going to give you what you're looking for, which means you'll ultimately end up spending more anyway.
And I'm a cable guy. I went back, but I still have some apps too. Like, yes, I went back to AT&T Uverse or whatever it's called now because I want the full package. I've got the Red Zone. I can watch the Cubs on Marquee. I paid extra to have the sports package. So if that means I got to cut some corners somewhere else, that's fine. But I still have Netflix. I still have, all the other channels, the Amazon Prime streaming outlets. But yeah, man, I went back to cable and most of that was fine.
And don't think for a second that you're missing anything. You're not. It's just you literally have to download the apps to get some of the games now.
I will say, though, the delay is a pain in the ass. Like when you're watching live news and live sporting events and your buddy texts you, no way, I can't believe he hits that. And you're watching the game and there's 30 seconds left. That sucks.
Well, that's a problem I've had streaming because the stream's like a minute and a half behind. So I'll get a text from my brother. Oh, my God. I'm like, you just ruined the game for me.
Right. Bob is up next. Bob, welcome to the Hammer and Nigel show.
How's it going, Hammer?
Good, man.
I did some research for you. So $100 in 1984 is the equivalent of $301.24. So even at 2024,
I think that's a value, man. Like if I can pay $300 right now to go see my favorite band in perpetuity every year with backstage passes, I'm doing that. I mean, my God, how much is one concert ticket right now for a big show? Sometimes it's over $1,000. John is up next. John, welcome to the Hammer and Nigel show.
Hey, man, I heard Jerry was in there, so I've got a rabbit hole for him to climb.
Oh, no.
I'd like to know how many mass shooters or their parents were registered Democrats.
I don't know, but I think a lot of them are registered mentally ill. They're all part of the same alphabet soup group, it seems like. But I mean, it's kind of like the Thomas Carl Cook thing. You can be registered as whatever you want. That doesn't really make a difference. He was a registered Republican and tried to assassinate President Trump. So not really sure, but I think we need to look at the mental stability of all these people.
We got time for one more here. Let's go to Jeff. Jeff, welcome to the Hammer and Nigel show.
Well, hey, guys, love the show. Listen every day.
Thank you.
And I know you're all about the Mount Rushmores of whatever. I got a question for you. How about the Mount Rushmore of women in music, any genre, criteria, longevity, super mega hits? I got Stevie Nicks, Dolly Parton, Aretha Franklin, and Tina Turner. I'd like your thoughts.
Boy, that's a strong lineup right there. That's
You got to put
real
Taylor
strong
Swift. Taylor
lineup.
Swift has to be on the list, and I don't like her, but she has to be on the list.
But who does she replace? Like, of that list, does she replace Dolly? Because I don't know if Taylor's here, if Dolly's not there.
No, Dolly stays.
Stevie
I think
Nicks has gotta
Dolly and
stay
Taylor
there.
got to stay. Stevie Nicks stays. What about a Whitney Houston?
Jeff?
What about, I mean, Beyonce's got to be on there too. And Beyonce's been around longer than Taylor, right?
Yeah, but then you can say write your own music, and that eliminates Beyonce.
And I'm thinking about some of these classic rock chicks, right? Like, you can look at Joan Jett. I mean, you can look at...
Where's Janet Jackson on the list?
Heart. Like, I know it's a band, but does Heart get one spot up there? That's a great question. That's a great question. All right, if we did not get to you, I apologize. We'll get you next time we do a little caller roulette. Rob Kendall, had a little conversation with him earlier today. Nigel and I had that conversation with Rob. You're going to hear that coming up in just a moment. Right now, Donnie Burgess has the news.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
What he had to say about sexual harassment. You've got 88 degrees. I'm Donnie Burgess. Here's what's trending at 531. Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett addressed what you might call the elephant in the room Thursday.
That being the sexual harassment accusations by several women against Hogsett's former deputy mayor, Thomas Cook. I'm John Herrick. Those women say Hogsett didn't do enough to protect them from Cook, but Hogsett still vowed, though.
I have no intention of stepping down.
There is a committee now formed to investigate complaints of sexual harassment, and that committee can subpoena the mayor, which Hogsett does not mind.
We will fully cooperate. I don't know. I'm not going to speculate as to what that would look like.
He says city employees should and will have a safe work environment as well as a confidential place to report bad behavior. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
A man arrested on suspicion of starting a wildfire in California's San Bernardino County may have started other fires. That's what arson investigators are saying about Justin Halstenberg, who is being held in jail related to a 37,000-acre line fire. From one coast to the other, 4 Red Cross volunteers from Northwest Indiana are heading to Louisiana to assist with Hurricane Francine disaster relief. Leftover rain from Francine is expected tonight, but don't expect much.
Further north into central Indiana, especially northern Indiana, we may have little or no rainfall with the remnants of the tropical system.
That's forecaster Randy Bowers. A Georgia judge is dismissing 2 criminal counts against former President Trump in his election interference case. Fulton County Judge Scott McAfee ruled that the prosecutors didn't have the authority to bring those charges against Trump. However, McAfee is allowing the rest of the case to move forward, including 8 charges against the former president. Week 2 of the NFL season is just hours away. The Miami Dolphins are hosting the Buffalo Bills. The Indianapolis Colts have the Green Bay Packers on the road this Sunday. And now with a look at traffic, here's Dan Levy.
And as we head out towards the area roadways, we have police activity going on right now at Temple and New York Street. Reports of a shooting investigation, so try to steer clear of that. A crash at 70 on the west end going westbound in Meridian. We have that blocking the left lane. That's why traffic is heavy from 65 South Split. This report is sponsored by B Window. Now employee-owned B Window is celebrating this month with employee pricing for everyone. Get 60% off plus 18 months no interest or payments. Trust your home to B. Visit bwindow.com for details. I'm Dan Levy. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And now the forecast, brought to you by the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
As we make our way into Thursday evening, clouds will start to overtake the skies. There will not really be a chance of rain overnight, but as you move towards Friday around noon, chance for showers could sneak in. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Junior Sudas for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Donnie Burgess on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
And now, Hammer and Nigel go off the rails with Rob Kendall.
Noise pollution.
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer is here. Also joining us live in studio, Rob Kendall from the Kendall and Casey Show. Here to go off the rails. Rob, how are you?
I'm great. Thanks as always to our segment sponsor, Garage Doors of Indianapolis.
Okay, we had a couple of days to let the dust settle after the Kamala Harris-Donald Trump debate. Your overall thoughts, your big picture. What did you see take place Tuesday night?
Well, look, Trump wasn't great, but I think the hysterics over that are totally blown out of proportion because let's keep in mind, in 2022, we had a guy in Pennsylvania who once said, "Hi, good night, everybody." And
John Fetterman,
he became
yes.
a U.S. senator. So clearly, if debates matter, that guy literally couldn't string sentences together.
But I think the reason, though, Rob, is that, all right, we know what the rules of engagement are. Fetterman's a lefty. He's going to have people helping him out, picking him up. Other than Newsmax, Fox News, Breitbart, the media outlets that consider themselves conservative friendly, few and far between. So there was a very small room for error, and that's why I think so many people are like, damn it, he had a lot to work with and he blew it.
Well, he did blow it, but if the goal is to win the election, right? I mean, I think he missed an opportunity to win the election the other night. I don't think he's going to lose all that much ground because if you're a person in Western Pennsylvania, which will decide Pennsylvania this year, provided all the jelly beans are counted accurately. I know it's a big stretch, right? Yeah. Philadelphia.
Just play along with us.
If you're a guy in Western Pennsylvania and you're hearing Trump talk about, say, the illegal immigrants in Springfield eating the animals, it hasn't been disproven, but let's just say you believe it's not true. But probably 15 million people. We know of at least 12. It's government math. So if it's as bad as the jobs report, it's probably 15 million. 15 million people have illegally entered this country under Kamala Harris's watch. And they're major gang members, drug dealers, murderers, rapists, human sex traffickers. And even if they're good, decent people, they're people taking American resources and American jobs. So you got 15 million people illegally coming into the country under Kamala Harris. Are you going to throw all that out and forget all about that because Trump said they were eating dogs or cats if they weren't? I mean, like I just square that with me. Why that would be so offensive to you that you wouldn't vote for Donald Trump? She sucks. She offered nothing. Did Trump take the bait too often? Yes.
The size of his rallies and
Right.
people walking out.
But the reality is she is Joe Biden. She had no new ideas from the Biden administration. And if you are sick of the price of food and gas and rent and 15 million people coming illegally across the southern border, are you really hung up on semantics? Because let's face it, the reality is it's believable enough that you can't just dismiss that it happened.
But Rob, the kind of voter that's still undecided at this point, to answer your question, yes. I think if you're somebody that still has not figured out who you're voting for, yeah, that kind of thing maybe does sway them.
Aha. That's why I don't think there's that many undecided people. I mean, look, if you heard her, okay, let's say you're up in the air on abortion, right? Okay. And you're mad that, or you're not keen with the pro-life movement, okay? You're not like people that are as pro-life as I am. You don't necessarily like.
You think all these Republicans want to control women's bodies.
Right. And so Donald Trump then looked at her multiple times, as I did with Jennifer McCormick several weeks ago, and said, okay, you don't like Indiana's law, or okay, you don't like 10 weeks. What's the number? And he looked at Kamala Harris multiple times and said, what is the number? So you're telling me that the majority of people are going to say, I'm okay with sucking the brains out of a defenseless fetus at 9 months old. Like, that's okay, but the guy that's pro-life, I'm not going with him because he's too pro-life. I mean, if you have to choose here in the equation, undecided normal people I would hope for humanity's sake that most people would err on the side of life.
And she wasn't answering the question. He could have even cornered her even more.
He should have.
Because if she would have said, well, I am, then all of a sudden Kamala Harris says she's for restrictions. But she didn't say that, which also means she's for late term, 8-9 months after birth. Yeah.
Here and by the way, her vice presidential pick signed a bill into law last year that allows you to slaughter a defenseless fetus at 9 months. Here's the thing I think Trump had going for him, and he's lucky, is how in the tank those moderators were.
Because you think that was a good thing for him?
Well, because she didn't need it because he was hanging himself. But the fact that they fact-checked him and not her, and by the way, they got the fact check wrong. The governor of Virginia did say those things. He did talk about slaughtering babies who survived.
Now, I'm going to interrupt you right now because if you're going to set that up, I'm going to need to have Nigel's awesome impression.
Talking about
former Governor Northern in Virginia.
I'm going to Northern, and we're going to keep that baby comfortable.
That's a strong impression.
Then we're going to have a conversation with the mother to try to decide whether or not we want to execute that baby. But we're going to keep that baby comfortable.
It's like if Kamala Harris's Southern accent and the president from House of Cards, played by Kevin Spacey, had a kid. That's what it sounds like, and it's spot on.
It is, but the topic itself, and we're laughing because Nigel's great at it, but he literally said those things. The fact checker got it wrong. And so I think people see that and they go, they're in the tank again. It's happening again. So, yes, did Kamala Harris win the debate on style points? I guess.
Platitudes? Sure.
But she didn't. If you're an undecided person and you think society sucks right now, which is why you're an undecided person, she didn't give you anything different, and you're seeing the same thing you saw before. I just don't think I think it's more of Trump missed an opportunity to close the deal rather than she won all these votes.
Right. I think he could have closed the deal if he showed a little bit more fight. I'm not saying being a lunatic, but the minute that Kamala Harris started bringing up Project 2025 and the Charlottesville hoax and all of that bloodbath, Donald Trump should have looked at the moderators, looked at Daniel Muir, looked at Lindsey Davis and say, all right, enough is enough. You have fact-checked me multiple times tonight. How are you going to sit there with that stupid grin on your face and let her get away with that? If he would have done that, I'm telling you, we were at the debate party. There would have been a standing ovation. People would have said, that's my fighter. That's my guy. He's fighting back against a corrupt media system. But he didn't do it. He just sat there and took it, Rob.
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys do this. Do you debate along with the candidates? Do you ponder how you would respond to the things that they say? So I was listening driving home, and when Kamala was talking about abortion, there was this almost joy in her voice as she was talking about, and they always call it women's health or women's rights or whatever. And
reproductive justice is my favorite.
Thank you. Yes. And if I were Trump, I would have responded to that and simply said, you want to know why our country's in the shape it's in, why things are the way they are? Because this woman has joy in her heart as she's talking about sucking the brains out of a defenseless fetus, but doesn't seem to care at all about the price of food or gas or rent or the southern border or giving money to corrupt governments across the world. This is why we are in the condition we are in, because her passion lies with ending life. My passion begins and ends with making your lives better. Whose side are you on?
Going off the rails with Rob Kendall here from the Kendall and Casey show, 9 to noon here at 93 WIBC. Let's bring it back a little closer to home here. A lot of scandal, a lot of shenanigans happening over at the mayor's office. And again, it cracks me up when I see some media members all of a sudden waking up to the fact that, wait a minute, there may be something shady about Joe Hogsett.
Yes.
It's all of a sudden this big moment of clarity for a lot of the media members in this city, Rob. What do you think's going on?
Well, this committee thing they formed is a joke, and let me tell you why it's a joke. Okay, so we've had a month, right? I mean, it's been a month, maybe more, since the Indy Star article came out. Maybe it's been more than a month now. We're talking about these people. They are not members of the public. They're not the press. They're city councilors. They have immediate access to emails and phone records. They don't have to go through the process that we go through. They are in charge of the government. And the idea that they haven't already been doing this, like, okay, so Joe Hogsett. So we have these reports from these women that have this evidence. No one has refuted a shred of the allegations that they made.
The accusers put their name on it 2 out of the 3.
You got text, you got phone records, you've got emails.
Hogsett's chief of staff accused to step down.
Right. So you have this evidence that no one's refuted. So you pretty much know that's lock solid. And then you have access to whatever emails or phone records you want as a city councilor, basically whenever you want them. And they haven't been doing that apparently for the past, because you should be able to go in and say, look, I want all emails related to the investigation that was done into Thomas Carl Cook in 2017. And, there's a process by which email that can be filtered out very quickly.
Let me ask you a question here, because I don't know the answer to this, and you're Mr. Inside Baseball, so maybe you do. We've been told Joe Hogsett uses nothing but his personal email, kind of as a way to cover up backtracks, because nobody has the ability to find his personal messages. He doesn't use the official city government one. He uses his personal one.
But he would not have, if he used an attorney, which he would have used an attorney, right? He would have used someone. They used city money to conduct this. So any of those emails are going to be fair game. They're going to be able to he used someone to do the investigation. That firm was not working on behalf of Joe Hogsett, the human. They were working on behalf of the city of Indianapolis. You would have access and the ability to get those things. This they don't need a committee. They don't need a big investigation. You have the allegations that have not been refuted. You have access whenever you want to the stuff. They don't want to go down this rabbit hole because they fear Joe Hogsett, because Joe Hogsett buries his political enemies, and they don't want to deal. It's very similar to why the Republicans don't take on Holcomb, and of course the Republicans in Marion County are totally inept. But it's why the Democrats don't want to take on Hogsett. They don't want to do this. They want to stretch it out. They want to hope it goes away. People forget about it. They're going to drag this thing out because they could solve it very quickly if they really wanted to.
Can you come back for one more break?
Yeah, let's do it.
We're going off the rails with Rob Kendall. This is the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Sinus pressure, congestion, snoring, being unable to sleep, being unable to breathe. Yep, it's another sinus infection. You've Googled, watched videos, tried over-the-counter sprays, medications, and home remedies, but nothing ever works. There must be some kind of treatment that can help, right? Indianapolis Sinus Center understands how draining it can be when you try treatment after treatment without any relief. That's why they've been serving and treating the community for over 50 years. Indianapolis Sinus Center has performed thousands of procedures and helped thousands of patients find lasting relief they didn't know was possible. Patients like you. If you've had enough of sinus pain, pressure, and congestion, schedule a visit with Indianapolis Sinus Center today. Call 317-528-9650 and take the first step toward breathing easy. 317-528-9650. That's 317-528-9650 or visit IndianapolisSinusCenter.com.
Whether it's the good food or the friendly mood, you can count on Indiana to never lose when it comes to tailgating. And we want to see you at every game. That's why Hubler's got you covered with the best warranty around. So kick off the season in a Hubler quality pre-owned vehicle. Choose from over 2,000 Chevys, Fords, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and many more. All makes and models. Certified. Luxury. Even the hard-to-find ones. Every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty and includes a 128-point vehicle inspection, plus a free Carfax history report. Keep the tradition alive, knowing Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles.
Hubler's got you covered.
Visit drivehubler.com or any of our 12 locations.
Cover me!
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
Hey, it's Robin. I've put my name behind Garage Doors of Indianapolis for the past 7 years because they're a local conservative company that does quality work on time. In many ways, Garage Doors of Indianapolis is the perfect Hoosier. Recently, they helped my family in a garage door pinch by arriving on site quickly and fixing the problem right away. For all of your garage door needs, call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 317-875-4577. 317-875-4577. Or visit them at doorstoday.com. Tell them Rob sent you.
There's a price war in the insurance business, and you may be paying too much. Call the Term Lifeline right now and see if you can save 40%. $500,000 plans and up, that's our specialty. Even great smokers rates. Protect your family today. Call the Term Lifeline right now for a free quote. 866-549-TERM, 866-549-TERM, 866-549-TERM.
Hey, this is Spencer Thompson at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. Now through Monday, it's our Made in the USA Labor Day sale. Lazy Boy recliners start at $3.99. Queen mattresses start at $3.99. And sofas start at $4.99. Interest-free financing available, free delivery, and cash discounts on select items. Plus, low price guarantee on Tempur-Pedic and Stearns & Foster mattresses. Sale ends Monday only at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
Make the hiring process work for you. With Indeed's end-to-end hiring solution, you can attract, interview, and hire candidates all from one place. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
It's JMV. Save 30% off herbaceous perennials, 50% off pottery, and 20% off patio furniture this week at Miss M's Home and Garden on State Road 135 in Bargersville.
Never miss your favorite shows on WIBC. Get your content to go. Tony Katz, Kendall and Casey, Hammer and Nigel, Tony Kennett, The Gun Guy, Home and Garden. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
Dan Levy is filling in for Matt Baer. He's got to look at the roads.
As we head out towards the area, roadway is 465 on the west end going northbound. You're heavy right around 10th into 21st, all because of a crash that just cleared. Then further northbound at 65, another wreck. This one's on the right side, involving a vehicle into a ditch. Also, watch out, Temple and East New York Street. Stay away from that area. We have a shooting investigation with police on the scene. This report is sponsored by B-Window. Now employee-owned B-Window is celebrating this month with employee pricing for everyone. Get 60% off plus 18 months no interest or payments. Trust your home to B. Visit bwindow.com for details. I'm Dan Levy. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
86 right now at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
Back off the rails with Rob Kendall from the #1 rated Kendall and Casey show, 9 to noon here at 93 WIBC.
We're all number one.
Our new podcast is out, The Degenerates Next Door. I said earlier on your program, Rob, I want to have 500 downloads on this NFL episode by Sunday, because if that doesn't happen, Kamala Harris is going to win the election.
Oh, yeah.
There's a correlation between the two? Is that?
Well, that's what I'm saying. So that being said, I've got action tonight on the big Thursday game, the Dolphins at the Bills. We got about a couple minutes left here. What did you think of that whole situation where the Dolphins star wide receiver, Tyreek Hill, was cuffed and kind of taken down to the ground by the officers, and then the body cam comes out? It shows he's kind of being a big pain in the ass about the whole thing. Where are you at?
Well, first of all, let me say, sports betting is the best because of the roller coaster of emotions. So, like, I had a great college football Saturday, had a turd Sunday in the NFL until the afternoon. I was down in the dumps. I was down and out. And then the balling on a budget games happened.
Let's go.
And we started stringing them together, and we hit all of our balling on the budget, and we would have made enough off that one to totally offset anything we'd lost. And it's a day of a roller coaster of emotions to go even, Steven.
Right. But we had a great day in the NFL.
You did.
I had a huge day.
Good job,
you hit
fellas.
the parlay.
Yeah.
That is Rob Kendall of the Kendall and Casey Show and the Degenerates Next Door podcast. This is the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Do you own an annuity? Right now, you could upgrade your annuity and get 40% more income, tax-deferred growth, and pay fewer fees and expenses. It's true. This upgrade could add up to tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in additional lifetime income. Learn more by calling Bill Demery, your retirement guy in Indy.
If you currently own an annuity, discover how you could get 40% more income, tax-deferred growth, and pay fewer fees and expenses. Bill Demery's the guy that can break it all down for you. This upgrade could add up to tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in additional lifetime income. And it won't cost you a dime. Talk to Bill Demery today. 317-648-5120. That's 317-648-5120. Bill Demery, your retirement guy.
Cindy Carrasco has spent a career holding the powerful accountable. As Indiana's Inspector General and Director of the State Ethics Commission, Cindy fought waste, fraud, and abuse wherever she found it. Cindy also combated wrongdoing in state government, which meant standing up and doing the right thing even if it wasn't popular. Now, as our state senator, Cindy Carrasco continues to fight on behalf of all Hoosiers by improving the quality of our children's education, providing tax relief for everyone, and working to make our communities safe by getting law enforcement the resources they need to fight crime, violence, and keep fentanyl away from our families. It's why Cindy has been endorsed by the Indiana Fraternal Order of Police, State Police Alliance, and the Professional Firefighters of Indiana. Because they know that Cindy has their back, and we know she has ours. Vote for more government transparency, better schools, lower taxes, and safer streets. Vote Cindy Carrasco for State Senate.
Paid for by Cindy for Senate.
If you've ever put off dealing with plumbing problems, you don't have to live that way. Maybe you tried to fix a leaky faucet yourself, or you're wishing that slow drain is going to magically start flowing again. Well, it's not. Stop putting things off and call Lance and his local team at LD Smith Plumbing. They'll give you honest advice at a fair price, and they leave your home even better than they found it. That's ldsmithplumbing.com. And tell them your second favorite plumber in the whole world, Denny Smith, sent you. ldsmithplumbing.com.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to